spine and letting me cheer again.
Pittsburg High football on ESPN 100.7 is brought to you by Watco Companies, Quality Structures Incorporated, Community National Bank, CDL Electric, Pet Care Surgery Center, University Bank, Larry Barrett Body Frame and Towing, SEK Urgent Care, Maroon, Meadowbrook Mall, Ortho Forestates, Tri-State Building, Jocksnitch Sporting Goods, Lindbergh Pharmacy, Kansas Teachers Community Credit Union, Commerce Bank, the Eddie Auto Body and Alignment, Baines Incorporated, Spigarelli Law Firm. Now let's go live to the field. Here's the voice of the Purple Dragons, Cam Molina.
Hey, Mary, welcome to a gloomy first Friday, November, as the Pittsburg High Purple Dragons welcome in their regional opponent at the KC Turner High School Golden Bears here on your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7, which shall be right back at our KSHQ studios. Alongside Avi Sharma, I'm Cam Molina. Avi, last time out, this Pittsburg High football team was able to take care of business at home in the first round of playoffs, down KC Washington 47-8. In that contest, there was a very scary moment to begin the game. Skylar Wallace for the Washington Wildcats went down, the starting quarterback. We've been updated since then, a week after. He had an apparent neck injury. He's all right, but a scary moment nevertheless. But the Purple Dragons were able to rise above that very challenging moment for everybody and pull out the victory.
Yeah, first of all, it starts off being at home. The home field advantage, especially in the playoffs, definitely makes a huge, huge factor. And the Purple Dragons did everything that they needed to get that victory. Like you mentioned, the Wallace injury was not only frightening for us, the fans, the people out there, but it was also for the players. You know, that's safety that's a concern. At the end of the day, these kids need to go home walking. That's what Coach Nicholson said at the interview afterwards. That's the positive side, is that everybody took time to just, you know, step aside from the scoreboard, from the game, and to worry about something that happened. And then we moved on and we got back into the game, and PHS just didn't look back, Cam.
Well, Avi, this Pittsburg High football team defensively has been stout. Against Wichita North, only allowed 8 points. Last week against the Wildcats, only 8 points allowed. In addition, offensively, it's been almost as if Chase Curtis, the starting senior quarterback for this team, in addition, the rest of these quarterbacks kind of feel like closers in Major League Baseball. They've only thrown less than 5 or 6 times each of those contests because the ground game have been so potent, and defensively, they have been on absolute lockdown.
Yeah, and, you know, it starts, I've probably said this too many times on the air, Cam, but defense wins championships, and if that's what you want to do to be successful, it starts with that defense, because you saw how many times they scored last week for the Purple Dragons because of turnovers and easy mistakes. So that helps out your offense, and that also gives them to let them exhale, let them relax and have a smooth offense instead of, you know, having to pick up the pace, hurry up, and play from behind.
And well, Avi, this Pittsburg High School team will be up against a formidable opponent coached by first-year head coach and Jamie Parks and Julian Parks. Coach Parks, first year with this club, a graduate of Turner, but he brings a lot of expertise defensively for this team. And when you look at the stat sheet, this Pittsburg High defense has forced 15 turnovers this season. The KC Turner Golden Bears nearly in the same ballpark as they forced 14 turnovers this year.
Yeah, absolutely. They've been very, very good. And, I mean, you know, you take a look at what they did last week to get to where we are. They played phenomenal, Cam. They won a game that no one thought they would, 41-7. That was absolutely standing out to me. I mean, only giving up 7 points in a playoff game, that's pretty darn good, because now it's crunch time, Cam. It's time to go, step it up. And they're looking to do just that, and they're going to come into a hostile territory to see if they can do that again.
Both of these teams extremely impressive, and we will hear it from the horse's mouth as both Coach Parks and Coach Nicholson will join us on our pregame show. We will step aside for 2 minutes and bring you back the Pittsburg High School head football coach, Tom Nicholson, for our pregame interview, followed by Coach Parks. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the home of Purple Dragon Athletics on ESPN 100.7, your sports headquarters.
It's game time all across.
What's the buzz around Community National Bank and Trust? They're talking mobile banking, instant issue debit cards, rewards checking and credit cards, and let's not forget e-power checking, paying better than CD-like rates on a checking account, plus nationwide ATM fee refunds. Get in on the buzz. Community National Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
Everything we do is right on cue.
It's a feeling you get the moment you step on campus.
It's the knowledge that you've become part of something more.
We're a family of Crimson and Gold.
Every day we challenge ourselves to achieve more.
The reason why we're here is to make a difference.
Everybody wants to stand out.
Without standing apart.
You belong.
At Pittsburg State University.
Headquartered in Richmond, Kansas, QSI Quality Structures Incorporated specializes in designing and building complete post-frame buildings. We provide structures built to withstand a 30-pound ground snow load and a 90-mile-per-hour wind shear built to the most stringent codes. Whether you need a garage, agricultural building, commercial facility, or custom-built design, we're your one-stop shop for post-frame buildings. QSI. Everything we do is right on cue.
Crawcan Telephone Cooperative has been serving Girard in southeast Kansas for 65 years. In 1952, we helped our members connect with each other using telephone lines. Today, we connect our members with the entire world using fiber optics. While the technology has changed, our commitment to deliver it to our members has not. Check us out on the web at ckt.net.
You took on Washington High School in the first round of the playoffs. Your club ended up inducing the running clock. At the beginning of the contest, though, the quarterback for Washington High School, he went down, scary injury, carted off the field. Knowing that you've had a similar predicament, how hard is it for your team or offense to function, return to what it once was when that quarterback goes out?
Well, unfortunately, that is the worst part of the game, is when you're dealing with injuries, and particularly when you're dealing with one. In that young man's case, it was a head and neck injury, so you're always going to take all the precautions necessary. And, you just got to talk to your team. The quickest way to get injured in any sport is to not go 100%, to not go full speed, to try to be cautious. That's generally when the injuries are going to happen. So, you just talk to him about he was okay. It was all strictly precautionary. He's fine. Just go out, play hard, play clean, but make sure you're going as hard as you can, because when you're moving as hard and as fast as you can, your feet aren't sticking in the turf. You're less likely to get rolled up on and tear up a knee or an ankle. So it's just making sure they understand he's okay. It's an unfortunate part of the game. There's nothing you can do about it. You just go compete as hard as you can.
And, Coach, because of the running clock, you were able to get some younger guys in that contest. How do you feel about how your younger offensive players performed?
The skill position players, I thought, did really well. Brett Freeman and Brandon Petty, and at tailback ran very hard for us. Shea Munkin at fullback did an outstanding job both running and blocking for us. Shea's primarily been a defensive lineman for us all season, but he is a nice little fullback and will be a good fullback for us for the next couple of years. So I thought all three of those guys did well. Quarterbacks came in and did what we asked them to do. We obviously weren't going to be throwing the ball in that situation, but they did everything we needed to do, from reading our option to making sure the correct man got the ball to checking a couple plays. They did fine with that. And offensive line, it was a little faster. They kept their starters in, which is a good thing. We needed to see that, and our second and third units on the offensive lines, got a little bit of a awakening that the game's a little faster. Their steps are more important. Their effort has to increase a little bit. But overall, for our other units, I thought it was a pretty productive night.
And, Coach, does that give you more confidence heading into the future? What does the future outlook look like for your team?
Well, yeah, I mean, you got to get on the field to see what you've got. What it really does is it allows us to focus on areas of improvement for next year, because those guys will be our players. They'll be our starters next year. And they realize, hey, I'm not quite ready. I need to get in the weight room. I got to get bigger. I got to get stronger. I don't know the plays quite as well as I thought I did. So it makes them focus and sharpen up a little bit, but it really shows us that there is work that needs to be done in the off season, and we're going to count on those guys to get that work done so that they are ready to be our number ones next year.
Hey, Coach, coming up, second round of the playoffs, third time the last 5 years your club has been able to advance to that second round. Is there any difference outside of the caliber of opponent you're playing in the second round? Any sort of mentality shift?
Well, I mean, every round you go from here on out, it gets exponentially harder. The players are typically, they're older players. They're more senior-laden teams because they're getting deeper in the playoffs, more established programs, coaches that are maybe more established and have been there. You're running against better schemes, better players the farther you go. There's a reason they're still playing. So you just have to ratchet your game up a little bit too. Your practices have to be sharper. You have to cover all your bases, because you're never going to see an entire offensive package from another team. So you just have to prepare your guys to read their assignments and know that whatever you're seeing, there's a counter play off of that. You got to stay home, otherwise these coaching staffs and these players will see it right off the bat, and they'll come back and hit you with a home run. So it's being disciplined. It's reading your keys, knowing that you're not going to make every play, but you're still responsible for taking care of your job, your position, because eventually they're going to come to you.
Currently talking with Purple Dragon head football coach Tom Nicholson. And, Coach, you talked about you want to make sure your practices are even more sharp heading into that second, third round, et cetera, et cetera. Do you become more critical of your players at that point, especially the older ones, to ensure that your team's practices are far more crisp?
Well, I wouldn't say more critical. You're looking for smaller details than maybe you have been in the beginning of the year. But by now, with our group, with them being such a senior-laden group, they really understand what we're looking for. And a lot of times, before you can tell them, they know where they screwed up. And that's where we're fortunate this year. We got a lot of smart players. Our older players do a good job of helping our scout team players on, you need to do this, you need to do that. So if the players take on that role, we don't need to be critical. As long as they understand what they did wrong and they know how to correct it, that's the only point we're trying to get across, and that's what practice is. You try to get all the mistakes out of the way, so they come Friday night, they're doing exactly what they need to do. So we're pretty fortunate. We got a smart group, a very experienced group, and a lot of times if there is a blown assignment, whether it be offense or defense, they know why, and they're telling the coach before we have a chance to tell them. So that's really all you're looking for, is making sure that they're aware of it and trying to eliminate that mistake from ever happening again.
Coach, first time you reached the second round of the playoffs since 2014 and then 2015. Can you touch on what you need to see from your guys to take that next step to go from good to great and maybe bounce out of that second round and go to the third round?
Well, you're just looking for efficiency. There's no magic play that, if we hit this play, then we know we're going to be good. We're just looking for effort. We need focus. We need effort. And that's against anybody, any day of the week, any team we play. We're just looking for our kids to come out and be sharp, be crisp, to have fun. Play with some energy. Don't let the moment be too big. Just go out and have fun. You're playing football with your buddies. Practices actually have been pretty loose this week. They've had a lot of fun. There's been a lot of yelling and hooping and hollering, and that's what you're looking for. You want them to make sure they're on task, but this is a game. We want them to have fun, because when they're having fun, they're playing fast, and that's what we're looking for. Is just, are they sharp? Are they having fun? Are they helping each other out? That's all we're really looking for. And if they warm up in the first few plays, they're flying around and they're getting their assignments done, then we know we'll be okay. But we're just looking for an excitement, enthusiasm. We want them to be sharp, but we don't want them to be too tight. We want them to be loose and play fast.
Coach, second round of the playoffs against the KC Turner Golden Bears, also the Kaw Valley League, much like Bonner Springs, who you played earlier in the regular season. The Golden Bears, winner of 2 of 3 entering the contest. Can you talk about how you go about handling a hot team? Is there a different approach to that contest? In addition, what do you expect from this team?
Well, no, there really isn't. I mean, playing well right now. They got their quarterback back who'd been injured for the majority of the early season. He's back. He gives their offense a lot of confidence. You're just looking for one play at a time. We know it's going to be more difficult. There's going to be a lot more adversity this week than there has been the last couple of weeks. They got a very stout defensive line. We know they're going to stop us a time or two, and we're going to punt. And they are very effective in their run game. We know they're going to get some first downs. It's just go play one play at a time, and when we get our chances, we have to take advantage of them. But we're just preparing for a four-quarter affair because we know that this is a team that likes to own the ball. It's hard to get the ball out of their hands, and you're not going to pull away. It's going to be a tight game unless there's a lot of turnovers going. So we're just preparing our kids mentally for being ready for everything and for anticipating a four-quarter game.
Once again, that was the Pittsburg High School head football coach Tom Nichols said heading into the second round of 5A state playoff. We will return to Pittsburg, Kansas shortly, and we will be joined by KC Turner Golden Bear head football coach Julian Park. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the home of Purple Dragon Athletics on ESPN 100.7, your sports headquarters.
Customer first, safety always. It's not just a tagline, it's the Watco way. By focusing on safety, each and every day they build a future by protecting their customers, team members, community, and the environment. When Watco moves commodities by rail, river, and road, at home or across North America and Australia, their priority is to ensure that they deliver their loads safely and on time. Watco wishes all area teams a safe and successful season.
What's the buzz around Community National Bank and Trust? They're talking mobile banking, instant issue debit cards, rewards checking and credit cards, and let's not forget e-power checking, paying better than CD-like rates on a checking account, plus nationwide ATM fee refunds. Get in on the buzz. Community National Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
I had no idea you did that.
That's what I said when I learned CDL does more than just electrical work. Like plumbing, heat and air, security cameras and alarms, generators, solar panels, even signs for my business. CDL really is one company that has a solution for about everything in my home and business. Learn more at cdlsolution.com.
Haynes Incorporated in Frontenac is the driveline specialist. Haynes handles all driveline repairs for cars, trucks, four-wheel drive vehicles, and farm equipment. Haynes can also handle any general machine work and offers 24-hour wrecker service. Call Haynes anytime, 231-3170. Haynes Incorporated is located at the intersection of West McKay and Highway 69 Frontenac Junction. Haynes Incorporated in Frontenac is the driveline specialist.
Now, back to Dragon football.
Hello, and we welcome you back to Hutchinson Field in Pittsburg, Kansas, here on ESPN 100.7, your sports headquarters. Cam Molina, joined by head coach of the KC Turner Golden Bears and Julian Parks. Coach, last time out, your team was in the first round of playoffs. During Week 9, you took on KC Sumner Academy. Your team won in a lopsided affair, 41-7. Can you walk me through that matchup?
Yeah, Sumner was a very stout team. We went into it knowing that we needed to establish our run game. They had a run game, so it was a battle of whoever could control the clock. Fortunately for us, we were able to get our run game going as we have been the last few weeks, and we were able to come out with a victory.
And, Coach, the last 2 weeks, your team's offense has been firing on all cylinders, 70-plus points. Can you describe how the offense has been able to flow?
Yeah, we just getting the ball downhill has been our biggest thing. We were trying to get outside run game and throwing a little passing at the beginning of the season. It just wasn't quite working out for us. And so went back to the drawing board, and once we got our running backs and quarterbacks to get downhill, it was able to open up a lot for us.
And, Coach, also, when we talk about offense, defense also plays a large portion into that, giving your offense additional possessions. Against Sumner Academy, your club only allowed 7 points. Can you talk about and touch on how your defense has been a bright spot for your team?
Yeah, our defense has been a bright spot for us all year long. They swarmed to the ball very well. We had some really smart defensive kids on there that study the game very much so, and they know where they need to be, and they're very good at picking up tendencies, which has helped us a lot throughout the season and gave us great field position. we've just been able to capitalize on that the last few weeks.
We are currently talking to KC Turner Golden Bears head football coach Julian Parks. And, Coach, your team are winners of 2 of the last 3. Can you consider that a hot streak? If so, what has really played into your guys' ability during this stretch of games?
Yeah, it's a bit of a streak for us. Cutting down mental mistakes has been the biggest thing for us. We've had opportunities throughout the season, and we just weren't able to capitalize because we've made unintelligent mistakes at times that put us in bad situations. So we were able to cut those out, and so it helped us tremendously.
And Coach, this is your first season at KC Turner as the head coach. You served as defensive coordinator for several years. Can you just discuss how it's been as the head honcho around the high school and just your ability to lead the boys? How has the KC Turner Golden Bears organization been treating you?
I've always kind of had a good relationship with most of the guys ever since I've been there 12 years ago. But it's to a whole nother level now. I'm more of a father figure now than I was before. I was more of a big brother before, just to a lot of the players to be able to talk to, but now I'm more like that father figure that has to, tell them no, tell them yes. But it's been a great experience, and I enjoy it every day.
And, Coach, alongside the defensive coordinator role, you also took on a special teams coordinator role before you were able to be upgraded into that head coach role, but you also play a strength and conditioning coach role as well. Can you touch on how you've been able, in the preseason, to build some of your younger guys up and how that's paid dividends throughout the regular season?
Yeah, we have a great group of kids that come during the summer. We bust them in. They eat well, and we work out for a couple hours, get some field work done. It's helped tremendously in getting in, transitioning to a different style of offense and changing things on defense. It helps tremendously to get those things in during the summer.
Coach, you talk about minor tweaks. What are some of those tweaks offensively and defensively that have played a hand into your guys' success as of late?
Adding a little more tight end game, running downhill a little bit more has changed some things for us. Eliminating some of our wide receiver game and adding in more tight end and fullback game to it.
Coach, one of your star-studded players on the offensive side of things, he also plays defense. Jalen Richardson, your sophomore, he's accrued over 1,200 yards rushing on the season, double-digit touchdowns in total. Can you discuss how big of a playmaker he's been for your club?
Oh, yes, he's a tremendous playmaker for us, exciting kid to watch every day. He's just a tremendous athlete all around. He's a great basketball player as well. Our kids really look up to him. It's not so often that you get a sophomore who demands the attention of a team as he walks in the room. Been a great captain for us. It's hard to find a kid at that age to have those older kids respect and acknowledge him when he's on the field.
Coach, in what phases of the game do you need to execute tonight in order to beat this Pittsburg high school team or at least become competitive?
They are extremely solid at all 3 phases of the game. So it's going to take us to be solid and continue to eliminate those mistakes that we made early in the season. They're very quick on defense. Like us, they have a strong run game at times. They have exceptional receivers on the outside. And then they're very efficient in their special teams game. So it's going to take a full effort by all 3 levels of our team to pull out the victory.
Once again, that was the KC Turner Bears head football coach, Julian Parks. When we return to Hutchinson Field here on ESPN 100.7, some final thoughts ahead of tonight's match between the Golden Bears and the Purple Dragons. More action here on your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7.
Hi, this is Dr. Brent Cousins with SEK Urgent Care. When you're sick, when you're injured, or when you just don't feel like yourself, SEK Urgent Care is here for you. Let our skilled providers treat your non-life-threatening illness or injury at a fraction of the time and cost of an ER visit. Located at the corner of Centennial and Broadway in the Meadowbrook Commons, open 7 days a week for your convenience. SEK Urgent Care, where your family and time matter. Find us fast on names and numbers.
Now back to Dragon football.
Welcome back to Pittsburg, Kansas at Hutchinson Field with Shelby White back at our KSHQ studios alongside Avi Sharma. I'm Cam Molina. The shallow, rolling, transparent smoke that is now filtering above the stanchion lights here at Hutchinson Field, which brought on and was the scene that brought onto the field the Pittsburg High Purple Dragons, as well as fireworks smitten everyone in the crowd. The opening coin toss is currently being had, and it will be the Purple Dragons winning. They will defer, and receiving the football will be the KC Turner Golden Bears. Avi, looking at this Pittsburg High School football team, they lose a key contributor in Jelani Long, who last season led the team in rushing, but defensively his presence was felt too at that free safety spot.
Yeah, absolutely. It's I don't think you're gonna see too much of a difference on offensively without Jelani Long, just because of the 5, 6, 8 running backs that Coach Nicholson has behind there to back it up. But Brandon Sevens will take the workload, as well Corbin Jefferson. But yeah, defensively, like you mentioned, that's a huge mishap now that he's not back there. So that could be maybe something that this Golden Bear offense could take advantage of, possibly.
The Golden Bears reciprocally do not have their starting quarterback in Jalen Harley, who was this team's quarterback last season as well. In the first round of the playoffs, which Turner advanced to under an old regime, Harley had 5 touchdowns against Washington, who Pittsburgh played last week in a 62-14 or 61-49 victory last year. But Harley last season over 1,950 total yards, 27 touchdowns. This year, prior to being injured due to a dislocated shoulder, he had 8+ touchdowns.
Yeah, you know, that's quite the stats there. I think it was a big factor. But you know, this is going to be an exciting matchup, Camo. We got a couple minutes left before kickoff. I'm still surprised by the outcome of last week's game, by how well KC Turner played moving into this game. So, interesting matchup. I think the defense who causes the most turnovers could win this one.
Well, last week, as you alluded to, the matchup KC Turner was against KC Sumner Academy. Sumner entered with the better record, was the 6th overall seed in the East portion of the Class 5A state bracket. Sumner falling in that contest 41-7. KC Turner was able to exude their defensive prowess and just the ability to stop their last couple of opponents, including Wyandotte, who had less than 20 points, and then Sumner, who only had 7 points. This defensive squad, coached by an ex-defensive coordinator, has been brilliant.
Yeah, and I mean, that's what you want for your team to be very successful come playoff time, and they're going to look to execute that again tonight. I think this is going to be a tough challenge for them, one of their toughest challenges, because this Pittsburgh offense has so many weapons that they can go from, and it all starts with number 18, Chase Curtis.
And you talk about Chase Curtis, how about some of his weapons around him, and Dylan White, Zachary Sutton, Ty Cicero, Brandis Evans, and Corbin Jefferson. I think he may be the most outfitted quarterback in probably the southeast Kansas areas in terms of weapons and tools that he has.
Yeah, I mean, they are very successful with him at the helm, and he just looks really good when he throws the ball with no pressure. And he's in that pocket, taking his time, finding out his reads, looking at the best option possible. He looks like one of the best quarterbacks I've seen in the high school level.
He also benefits from his offensive line that has played outstanding. Braden Letterman is now starting at right tackle due to Reese Willis's injury, and Zach Kunkler is the backup right tackle, which brings into question, if any of these linemen go out, it kind of begs the question, who will step up? Is there any depth at that offensive line? As Nathan Neef is set to kick off this regional matchup between the Purple Dragons and the Golden Bears. Stacked sides for the Purple Dragons on the left and right side with equal amount of players. The ball is returned from about the 9-yard line and scooting towards the near sideline, but quickly wrapped up at his own 20-yard line for maybe a gain of 12 yards with Josh Becken, the sophomore wide receiver and kick return specialist.
Get ready to read these numbers, Camo. This is going to be an exciting one. It's going to be a bit of a challenge for us. These all gold numbers on the Golden Bears. They're going to be hard to read a little bit.
And as you touched on, the Golden Bears with their golden numerals, as well as soot black helmets and coal black leggings with gold cleats and black socks. Very intimidating look against the Purple Dragons' more violet-looking uniforms, and lining up under center will be the starting quarterback and Joey Flynn. Flynn, a deep pitch into the backfield as the ball is taken by Jalen Richardson, the team's leading rusher, up across the 24 to the 25-yard line, nearest the right hash mark where the Golden Bears sideline is. It will bring up a second down at about 5.
And we'll see what kind of offense this Golden Bear team is going to run. It looks like it's going to be that no-huddle, hurry-up offense. Obviously something that we've seen many times before this season, Cam. It's been successful. It's been a struggle, but we'll see how it pays off tonight.
Richardson entering this game just over 150 rushing attempts, 1,284 yards on the ground, 12 rushing touchdowns, 8.3 yards per carry. But on the second down and 5, Richardson is ushered back by a fleet of Purple Dragons. The initial tackle made by Chase Johnson, and then Dylan Jordan came swarming in as well.
And one guy that I can talk about time and time again, you got to circle his numbers, number 47 for that Purple Dragons team, and Jarek Butcher. He is like a captain out there. He will sniff out the ball where it is to make big plays.
I formation, twin wings towards the near side of the field, deep back edge Richardson. Turn around, and the ball is loose on the ground. Flynn lost his handle. Flynn will roll outside of the pocket towards the far side of the field, and he has dropped back at the 20-yard line. And that was a very awkward handoff. Flynn turned around. I'm not sure if it was a design play action, but Flynn looked like he stuffed the football into the belly of Richardson. Richardson just ran without the football, and then Flynn just dropped it on the turf.
Yeah, I'd never seen a handoff go off like that. That was very interesting. Way to make something out of nothing, I guess. But in the end, the Purple Dragons, that's a victory.
A loss of 7 on the run, if you will, as the punt sails high into the first Friday of November sky, and the ball is scooped up at the 44-yard line of Casey Turner, picked up by the offensive lineman for the Golden Bears and Ryan Johnson, the senior. And the punt was by Chris Birch, the junior punter, as the Purple Dragons offense will take the field for the first time in this contest. And the purple helmet Chase Curtis, in his senior season at quarterback, enters this ball game with just over 100 passing attempts, 824 yards through the air, 8 passing touchdowns, including 9 rushing touchdowns. I formation, quick turnaround, play action for Chase Curtis. He looks deep immediately. Ball's up, and it's caught by Dylan White. 15-10-5. He will go into the end zone for 6, but there is laundry on the field, and it appears the referee will say the touchdown stands as the flag is at the 30-yard line. I believe it was pass interference or defensive holding. And it will be defensive holding, and the touchdown will stand. A 43-yard rainbow from Chase Curtis right into Dylan White's hands for a touchdown. Dylan White on the season has been magnificent, recording now his 8th receiving touchdown and almost 550 receiving yards on the year.
I don't think you could have said a better word than rainbow there, Camo. It was a perfect play-action pass, and when 18 connects with 4, it equals 6 almost every time.
Nathan Neef set to attempt the point after, as Brett Weimer's is set to hold. Weimer's hold take is up, and it will split the upright, so the score is now 7-0. The Purple Dragons take the lead early on in this regional contest. We will step aside for 30 seconds to bring you back your home of Purple Dragon Athletics on ESPN 100.7.
Now accepting new clients. At the Pet Care and Surgery Center, Dr. James Clark believes all of our pets deserve kind, humane, and loving treatment. From a simple checkup or rabies vaccination to performing major surgery. Plus, Dr. Clark has boarding, grooming, nutrition, and wellness checkups. Dr. James Clark can provide that loving member of your family with the treatment they deserve. Call 620-308-6454 to set up an appointment or simply visit petcarecenter.org. Pet Care and Surgery, making a difference.
Now back to Dragon football.
If you blinked, you may have missed it. Chase Curtis on the first offensive play for the Purple Dragons heaved the football down the field to his primary target in Dylan White. White an easy haul in from 43 yards away. 7-0 is the score. The Dragons lead at home at Hutchinson Field. Nathan Neef off the orange tee sends it away. The football will bounce at the 8-yard line and nearly goes out of bounds. It will stay in play. No flag down, but hanging back was Becton for the Golden Bears, expecting the football to skimmish or scutter out of bounds, but it did not. Instead of scuttling away and it being a flag, and actually the flag is now thrown, and the flag was obscured from our point of view, but originally it looked like Doxson was just hanging back, assuming that the football will go out. It hung in the field of play, and then Doxson came up to make the catch, but I guess the football at some point squeezed out of bounds, so the ball will be moved to the 35-yard line of the Golden Bears. 7-0 is the score. Purple Dragons lead it.
Well, those are one of the hardest ones to return because you don't know whether you want to just let that go or to attempt to take it, and Golden Bears got very lucky, Cam, because that could have been some rough field position to start out their drive.
So Flynn is awaiting some orders from the sideline. In addition, the Golden Bears are also waiting for play to resume as Coach Nicholson is speaking with the line judge towards the near side of the field. I formation again for Flynn. Quick turnaround handoff right into the belly of the fullback, and barging forward is Cameron Bates, who also plays linebacker, for maybe a gain of 4 yards.
And so you're going to see a lot of those plays, kind of like how BHS runs their offense. Is either a counter play, a dive, or a fullback dive. And so Evans has done a good job with how they've ran it. So we'll see if Bates and company can do the same thing.
A very calm first Friday of November, as the weather has been exemplary the last 2 or 3 days. For it being November, temperatures hanging around the 60s and 70s. A deep pitch to Richardson. He will carve back inside of the Pittsburgh Purple Dragons defense, take a hop at the 45, and then is pushed back. A late flag comes in that is spotted at the 45-yard line as Richardson burst from the line of scrimmage towards the far side of the field and followed his right tackle. And it will be a face mask against the Purple Dragons. So go ahead and add to what was a first down a few more yards.
That's a big 15, and discipline, Cam. That is one thing the Purple Dragons are going to want and need to do to execute and finish drives. Got to have that discipline.
So Richardson with 3 carries so far in the contest. That last run went for 6, his longest of the night so far, in total 13 yards. Split back formation, gun set, Flynn terms. He will fake the handoff, keep it himself, and he tries to sprint towards the far side of the field. Chase Johnson was on the stop, not allowing Flynn to go anywhere as he snared him around his ankles for maybe a 2-yard gain.
This is going to be a ground and pound game for both teams. And we are seeing that early for the Bears, the Golden Bears early, but not BHS just yet. But the ground game has been very effective so far, as now this drive is being successful for Turner.
3 wings on the field for the Golden Bears. A deep pitch to Richardson. Richardson awaits his blocks as he scampers forward. He's across the 35 to the 30-yard line. He skates forward for an 8-yard gain, 3rd down and 1.
It's weird how those plays work in the Cam, how you think it's a halfback toss to where they go to the outside normally, but it's an LSU-style offense where it's a pitch that still goes inside of the offensive line. It's just pretty incredible.
And it's a deep pitch too, Avi, one that would hang in a trajectory all the way towards the far side of the field, back about 4 or 5 yards, but then cutting right up the middle with the football was Richardson for a good gain. Purple Dragons caught off guard. It's an off-tackle run, and it's Richardson who bursts forth across the 15, 10, 5, dives for the end zone. He lunges his body forward for 6 points, and Richardson slips on the track towards the east side of the field, and he knocks down, or close to knocking down, one of the pylons toward the recesses of the engine. But now the score is 7-6 following the 30-plus yard touchdown run.
And the ground game being very effective for the Golden Bears now. Is what a drive that was. Quickly attempt to tie it up now.
So Richardson is able to burst forth for the touchdown, and the PAT attempted by Josh Medlin, the sophomore, is no good. So the score is 7-6. 7:49 remaining in the first frame of action. The Purple Dragons still lead following a flub and a miscue by the special teams unit for the Golden Bears. We will take a 30-second break. You're listening to the home of Purple Dragon Athletics on ESPN 100.7.
Accidents happen. That's why they're called accidents. And if you're involved in an accident, it becomes an instant worry, including can your car be repaired properly and in a timely manner. Enter Larry Barrett Body Frame and Towing, a company that exemplifies quality work done in a timely manner. Best of all, Larry Barrett Body Frame and Towing offers direct billing to most insurance companies. So, if you're in an accident, there's one name to remember: Larry Barrett Body Frame and Towing. Their name says it all. Ask about their 24-hour towing service too. Call 232-9400. Find the fast in names and numbers.
Now back to Dragon football.
A drive that lasted just a little over 2 minutes would have tied up the contest against the Purple Dragons, but a PAT that was no good by Gabe Martinez makes the score 7-6 as Martinez is set to kick the football away. Martinez from the 40 gets his boomstick underneath the pigskin. It carries across the 20 to the 18-yard line. Ball scooped up across the 20 and diving forward across the 30 to the 32-yard line. Nearest the Purple Dragon bench is Corbin Jefferson, who is the feature back tonight for the Dragons and Tom Nicholson's crew. Last time out for the Purple Dragons, it was about a 10-second play that ultimately put up 7 points. The production between Chase Curtis and Dylan White has been uncomparable to anything you and I have seen, Avi.
Yeah, I mean, it's the 1-2 combo, Cam, that's been very effective, but maybe it's just catching them off guard, and that's exactly what they did.
From their own 32, end around to Dylan Jordan. Jordan has a block in front of him. He scampers towards the far side of the field. He has a seam across the 50, across the 45. Hard, stiff arm at the 30. Weaves back inside, 20. 15. He can beat the last man as he makes his way towards the near side pylon. And what a run. 68 yards from Dylan Jordan. And a vicious stiff arm rouses everybody in the crowd for the Dragons. Score is now 13-6, and Dylan Jordan with an explosive play. 2 touchdowns on 2 plays for the Purple Dragons.
Well, Coach Nicholson's calling the right plays right now, as he is batting 1,000 right now, Cam, on play calling. Crazy. We have almost 20 points in 5 minutes.
Neef set to attempt the point after touchdown. The dandelion yellow cleat wearing Neef is able to boot it in between the pipes. The score now 14-6, and the Purple Dragons hold on to an 8-point lead. And as you said, Avi, a flurry of points coming out of the gate. 7:29 remaining in the first period of action. 20 total points scored. Dragon lead by 8. We will step aside for 30 seconds to bring you back more action from Pittsburg, Kansas.
Marone's Food Service Incorporated wishes the best of luck to all area athletic teams this season. It has been their pleasure to provide great quality food products to area schools, colleges, and universities in Kansas, Oklahoma, and Missouri. Marone's Food Service is proud to be a 4th-generation family-owned and operated business with over 80 years of service to their customers, employees, families, and communities. Good luck to all area teams from Marone's.
Now back to Dragon football.
4 total drives in this regional contest between the hometown Purple Dragons and the visiting K.C. Turner Golden Bears, and the score is 14-6. Avi, a cascade of points from the outset. The Purple Dragons struck first. Chase Curtis found the junior wideout and Dylan White from 43 yards away. Following that, it was a 5-play, just over 2-minute drive that went 65 yards, capped off by Jalen Richardson 35-yard rushing touchdown, and then another 1-play drive for the Dragons. Dylan Jordan on an end around, a beautiful 68-yard rushing touchdown. Neef will send it away. Ball scooped up at the 15, and it's muffed momentarily, and then coming flying in from the near sideline is the 5'8" squirt and Brett Freeman, using all 150 pounds of him soaking wet to suplex the returner and absolutely down the freshman in Morco Porras.
Wow, Cam. Wow. You buckled up. You got your popcorn ready. This is going to be quite the show, as we've already seen a ton of excitement in this game so far. You know, that's positive for the PHS. Obviously up. Yes, they're up. That's 2 plays that they've only had to score. This defense has got to be a little bit tired of how long they've been out on the field already.
An astute point, Avi, and Jalen Richardson, such a talented halfback for this Golden Bears team. Physique-wise, 6'1", 190 pounds, a prototypical college-looking halfback. He has a bright future ahead of him as he stutter steps at the 25-yard line, mushes across the 30, finally wrapped up around the ankles by Joel Kafka. Joel Kafka swinging tackle pushes Richardson to the 40-yard line before he stumbles. The football is officially spotted at the 38 for a 17-yard gain.
So that drive started at the 21-yard line, Cam, and he's all the way back at the 14, 13-yard line receiving that pitch before taking off. So it's crazy how far back he is to get yards and then positive yards.
You have to credit the offensive line and commend them because what that's doing as it's a handoff by Flynn to Richardson, who tries to bounce it towards the far side of the field. Richardson had a crevice momentarily, but that crack was shored up by the sure-fired glue of this Purple Dragons defense as Peyton Steele was initially there. Ty Cicero followed, but Richardson awaiting those offensive linemen to pick up those blocks before he makes his one cut.
I mean, Cam, you look at the offensive linemen for this team, and they're not messing around. They got some big stouts out there that will lead the way for Richardson.
Twin wings towards the near side of the field. Saying that he's lined up currently is Josh Becton. Flynn hands off to Richardson. That one goes nowhere as Chase Johnson, a mighty fist pump in the backfield. Shades of Tiger Woods back before the 40-yard line at the 37 for a loss of 4 on the run, 3rd down and 11. Richardson's first negative rush in this contest.
Cam, these Purple Dragons are so good when it is 3rd and long scenarios. It just teams have had a rough time getting the first downs on them when it comes to that. And so here's another 3rd and 11 now for the Golden Bears.
Well, Richardson has a propensity to pick it up on the ground if need be, but Flynn has yet to attempt to pass in this contest as he comes out in the gun, 3 wide receiver set, split backs, and a flag comes in.
Delay game.
And it will be delay of game on the Golden Bears. So Flynn and his cohorts, instead of having a 3rd down and 11, will have a 3rd down and 16. And there were only 2 safeties back. Actually, 1 safety back for the Dragons, as it was Joel Kafka, the strong safety, hanging back. Dylan White, who is the free safety in this contest following the Jelani Long injury, was more in the box, but now it's a 2-safety set. Flynn on a 3rd and 16, tries to throw the screen. It's caught by Richardson at the 35. He weaves across the 40 and is stopped at the 41-yard line, tackled behind by Dylan Jordan.
Yeah, and Cam, that was a interesting thing that happened there. Richardson really looked like he wasn't trying until he caught the ball and then took off. As the play before the delay of game, he had his hands on his knees and he looked like he was winded as well.
A gain of 10 yards on the cross screen from Flynn to Richardson. Ball is spotted nearest the left hash mark at the 42-yard line of the Golden Bears. And I believe it's Gabe Valdivia who's back to punt. From the 30-yard line, he's able to get his right foot underneath it. Corbin Jefferson from his own 30-yard line finds a small hole. He's across the 40, the 45, the 50, towards the far sideline, and skates out of bounds at the 45-yard line of K.C. Turner. And good field position for this Purple Dragon team following a decent return from the senior halfback.
Well, Cam, as of right now, it doesn't matter where the Purple Dragons start the drive, as they're in the end zone both times. So we'll see if 3 for 3 is the lucky charm here, or if they finally actually have an offensive drive.
4:32 remaining in the first quarter of action. This is the 3rd drive for the Dragons. 2 plays, 2 touchdowns. A 43-yard bomb to Dylan White, as well as a 68-yard run by Dylan Jordan. An I-formation twin wing set, 1 on each side. Handoff by Curtis to Brandis Evans up the middle across the 40. And as he lunges at the 40, he gets to the 39-yard line. Split in the middle of the hashes.
And you will see that and hear his name be called many times tonight, as Evans has done a phenomenal job. I don't know what nickname we're going to have with him for him this week, Cam, but he's gonna be dangerous.
Curtis comes out in a shotgun set, trips wings towards the near side of the field. Curtis with Corbin Jefferson to his right hip. He'll throw a screen pass to Zach Sutton. Sutton has a little bit of space as he squeaks in between Dylan Jordan as well as Drew Rolfs, who set up good upfield blocks for him. As Sutton crosses the 30, he's down to the 25-yard line for 13 yards and a first down.
Seeing some passes already early here for the Purple Dragons, something interesting we normally don't see unless it's like a third down. So PHS opening up the playbook a little bit.
So after the double-digit gain, Curtis will quickly get his group down to the line. Christian Wood lined up one-on-one towards the far side of the field. Also on the field, Landon Conrad. It's a deep pitch to Corbin Jefferson. And much like Richardson, he awaited for his blocks to develop, but instead a good defensive stand by the Golden Bears as they are able to snipe to the football and drop Jefferson for maybe a 3-yard pickup.
Yeah, no Jelani Long, like you mentioned. It's gonna be different here for Corbin Jefferson. Now he is the head guy back there, so he's going to have to be the one to step up, make some plays.
Jefferson, the second leading rusher this season for the Dragons, 510 rushing yards, averaging 8 yards per carry. Really a change of pace back. Offset shotgun formation. Curtis, it will be a quick pitch outside to Corbin Jefferson. Jefferson across the 20 before he's dragged down by his ankles. And on the stop was Reno Jackson, the junior, who checks in at 6'3", 200 pounds. And Jackson also plays tight end. And speaking with Coach Parks for this Golden Bears team, he said one staple of this offense is that we have used the tight end efficiently and effectively over the last 2 weeks, especially in our wins.
Tight ends are underplayed too much, I think.
Third down and 4th. Curtis will hand off to Brandis Evans, and Brandis Evans able to shoot through a hole between the left guard and center. As he powers forward, he picks up a first down shy of the 5-yard line at the 6 for a gain of 9 yards on the carry.
All right, so here we go. The Purple Dragons inside that 20-yard line. When they're inside the 10-yard line, they run the triple option here to multiple weapons for Chase Curtis, and be careful, he can call his own number and run it in himself.
Zachary Sutton also one-on-one towards the far side of the field. I formation shown by the Dragons. Curtis under center, handoff Brandis Evans. Evans chucks forward towards the far side of the field as he turns his leg nearest the left hash mark. He stopped after 1 yard. It will be second down and goal from the 5.
And Evans is normally a tank and can run through some of those things, but this time he's held up and pushed back a little bit. So now a second and goal. We'll see what PHS wants to do as a minute 45 on the clock.
1:45 remaining in the first frame of action. The score 14-6. The Purple Dragons lead it. This is their longest drive to date. The first 2 drives were 1 play each. Trips receivers towards the far side of the field. Curtis turns, wide receiver screen caught by Zachary Sutton. He has a block, and he will easily jaunt into the end zone for a touchdown. And that canter looked more like a walk as Zachary Sutton had some excellent blocks upfield from Drew Rolfs as well as Landon Conrad. The score now 20-6, a 14-point lead for the Dragons, and an opportunity to make it a 15-point lead if Nathan Neef is able to can the PAT.
Neef has had his ups and downs this season, did pretty good last week when it came to extra points.
Neef about 60% on PATs this season. He's kicked a lot of PATs. Kick is up. And it is great as it's easily able to fall right in between the uprights, making the score 21-6. The Purple Dragons lead it still in the first quarter of action. Just a couple seconds under 1:30 remaining in the first quarter of action. We will step aside for 30 seconds to bring you back more action from Hutchinson Field in Pittsburg, Kansas on your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7.
If you're in the mood for shopping, visit Pittsburgh's Meadowbrook Mall. Pittsburgh's original one-stop shopping center has a lot to offer. A great variety of clothing and shoes for the whole family, a large selection of gifts, sporting goods, events, and entertainment, plus terrific places to eat, and you can enjoy the newest movies in 8 theaters. Shop the comfortable and convenient atmosphere at Pittsburgh's Meadowbrook Mall. There's always something happening at Pittsburgh's Meadowbrook Mall.
Now back to Dragon football.
3 drives, 3 touchdowns for the Purple Dragons, the number 3 seed in the Class 5A State Football Championships. In the East bracket, the Purple Dragons this season 6-0 against teams in Kansas. The last 2 seasons 11-1, where this team has scored 477 points over the last 12 games against Kansas teams. And with 21 points in this opening frame against the Golden Bears, an opportunity to break 500 points against Kansas teams in the last 2 seasons. Returning from about his 3-yard line and scampering forward shy of the 20-yard line on the return was the returnee and Corey Mackin, I believe.
That's going to bring out this Golden Bear offense, Cam, who had one great drive driving the football, and then the other two, it came to an immediate halt. So if I'm the Golden Bears, I'd maybe try airing it out here, trying to change up the game plan because PHS knows they're coming with the ground game.
The Golden Bears will operate from their own 17-yard line with 1:21 remaining in the first quarter of action, trailing by 15. It would be 14, but a PAT missed courteous of Martinez. I formation, twin wing set, a close wing towards the near side of the field. And rolling outside is Flynn, and it's off the back of the intended target and Richardson on a screen, and it's called dead. So no gain on the play, and Flynn threw to Richardson, who was not expecting the football. And to correct myself, it was a 3 wide receiver set.
And Flynn's been throwing on the run or off his back foot, so that's why his passes haven't been too fancy so far. He's only thrown 2, but you can't throw the football like that, or it's going to lead to bad decisions.
1 for 2 in this contest, 10 yards, compared to Chase Curtis, who has 2 passing touchdowns. I formation again. 3 wide receivers set. Deep pitch to Richardson. Richardson has to cut back in reverse direction. He cuts towards the near side of the field, and as he tried to slice in between 2 different Purple Dragons, he's tackled around the torso and then tackled around the shoulder pads and dragged down by Jarek Butcher.
Jarek Butcher is such a defensive linebacker that's going to lead this team as best as he can, and that's going to bring up another 3rd and long, Cam. So 3rd and 8, we'll see if the Golden Bears can capitalize and keep this drive moving.
Well, Coach Parks has not shown all the plays in his playbook, obviously, as there's 40 seconds remaining in the first quarter, but I would imagine since Flynn is a reserve quarterback, it's a very slim passing notebook for him. Flynn comes out, 3 receivers. He goes on a 3-step drop, airs it out, a good cannon on his right arm. It's a jump ball, and it was picked off by Wiemers, but it falls, or rather it is called incomplete because Wiemers was out of bounds. Or excuse me, Drew Rolfs was out of bounds, not Wiemers.
That's another win for this PHS defense now as they get to go on the sideline, take a break, enjoy that, learn from it, and let this offense continue to do what they do because they're hot right now, Cam.
And it will be another punting situation for this Golden Bears team. Back to return Joel Kafka and Corbin Jefferson. Jefferson lined up on the left hash as the punt undulates through the air, and it's muffed by Kafka. Kafka looks at the football as it glances off his right hand, and then it starts to twirl back to the 49-yard line before Kafka decides to hop on it at the 50, so the ball will be spotted at midfield, but a lucky break for Joel Kafka.
Yeah, absolutely. That could have definitely turned this game around. Like I said, Cam, team with the most turnovers is going to cause the most turnovers is going to win. And with Shelby White back there in the studio, he gave us a quick update. Webb City's up 14-0 over Carl Junction right now.
To the left of Curtis is Corbin Jefferson in a strong left formation. Over the middle, caught by Zachary Sutton. A great throw by Curtis. Sutton is able to break out of the tackle, and he streaks into the end zone for 6. That is 3 drives of 1 play that results in a touchdown. Chase Curtis, 3 passing touchdowns in the contest. There were trips receivers towards the far side of the field, and then Sutton, who was the slot receiver, went on a simple post route, caught it in the middle of the field near the 30-yard line, broke out of a tackle, and it was able to snake his way into the end zone for a 50-yard touchdown.
Well, we've seen this offensive play many times this season, Cam. It's a play action with the tight end, like a seam or a slant route down the middle, and Sutton takes advantage of that, breaks a great tackle to get away for a touchdown.
A 10-second drive as Nathan Neef caps it off with the PAT. Score is now 28-6, and the Golden Bears, as well as Coach Parks, going to have to go back to the clipboard. During this 30-second commercial break, we will step aside and bring you back your home of Purple Dragon Athletics on ESPN 100.7.
Advanced technology, comprehensive quality care. That's Kanar Eye Care. We have the newest technology, but we never lose sight of what's most important, our patients. Eye care has changed dramatically in recent years, and we've been there for you every step of the way. At Kanar Eye Care, Patients spend time with doctors. Total eye care, from contact lenses, including bifocal contacts, treatment of disease, and surgical co-management. Canar Eye Care, the clear choice.
Find them fast in names and numbers.
Now back to Dragon football.
4 of 4 drives for the Purple Dragons have resulted in touchdowns, as the Dragons currently lead this contest 28-6. Chase Curtis has been a madman. 3 passing touchdowns. 3 of the 4 drives for the Dragons have resulted in 1 play, 1 score drives, as the ball is scooped up from about the 14-yard line and then trucking forward across the 20 to the 20-yard line. On the return is Becton.
Okay, so we've seen it, Cam, already in this first quarter, but actually that's going to be the end of the first quarter. But if the Golden Bears are going to get something going, it's got to be now, as they're trailing by 22 points early in this game.
Well, as you said, Avi, it is the end of the first quarter of action. We will step aside for 30 seconds to bring you back more action from Hutchinson Field in Pittsburg, Kansas, where the Dragons lead 28-6.
Stop at Bo's One Stop for everything from gas to groceries. Bo's has drink specials daily from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. In a hurry, grab a hot cup of coffee and hot breakfast or lunch from the deli and watch for daily specials. Bo's One Stop also has fishing supplies. Bo's One Stop is really just that, your one stop for all your in-the-hurry world with great friendly service. Bo's would like to congratulate the Pittsburg High Dragons on a great season and continued success in the playoffs. Before you head to the game, stop in at Bo's One Stop on 4th Street, Pittsburgh. Go Dragons!
Now back to Dragon football.
Touchdowns in the first quarter, obviously things are looking good, and that's exactly what's happening for this PHS Purple Dragon team.
If Dragons are able to rail over Casey Turner in this contest, it would be a matchup against St. Thomas. Boston Springs currently tied 0-0 after 1 quarter. Deep pitch caught by Richardson as he tries to mush.
Welcome to Orthopedic Specialist of the 4 States. Neck to toe, the largest and most comprehensive orthopedic and sports medicine care group and facility in the region. Only minutes from downtown Joplin. Unlike the hospital system, Ortho 4 States was founded and is operated by board-certified and fellowship-trained orthopedic doctors and surgeons, focused on a mission to restore patients' quality of life and eliminate the pain and suffering caused by injuries and disorders of the spine and joints. Uniquely structured to cater to patient benefit, convenience, and choice, Ortho 4 States doctors, physical therapists, physician assistants, and nurse practitioners all work together to provide compassionate and very personalized care, but with state-of-the-art orthopedic techniques, equipment, and a facility only expected to be found in major cities. Orthopedic Specialist of the 4 States, bringing personalized world-class orthopedic care to the 4-state area.
Thank you, 4 States, for fixing my spine and letting me cheer again.
Now back to Dragon football.
As the Purple Dragons offense is now set to come back out onto the field, and offensively they have been lighting up the scoreboard. 28-10 remaining in the first half of play. Yeah, they're looking phenomenal right now. I don't know what's down there at this offense. They had penalty. There was a foul against the Golden Bears. Back a little bit. Move it up. So the Dragons will come out 4 drives, 4 touchdowns. 3 of the 4 drives have been one-play drives against the Gold Bears. The Dragons have very favorable in Gold Bear territory, marching forward the back judges across the 40, 35 yards of Casey, 37. They need to get another touchdown, Howard. That's for PHS, and they are very good. 10 minutes remaining in the first. It will be a shotgun. His hands off to Brandis. And is able to barrel across the field. It absolutely steamrolled the Golden Bears secondary defenders. And it was Becton who got in the way of Evans. It is amazing, and it is rolling as much as
Jocksnitz has all your hometown needs to get you geared up for the football game. New Pitt State gear has already arrived, such as hats, tees, sweatshirts, license plates, koozies, and even tees for your dog. We are your stop to make before headed to tailgate. There's only one Gorilla Nation, and there's only one Gorilla Gear headquarters, Jocksnitz Sporting Goods. Check us out in downtown Pittsburg and Park.
You got the sports look of the day. Sporting Goods from Jocksnitz.
At Lindbergh Pharmacy, we care about your health. From a qualified and caring staff to services like our Time My Meds and MedPack programs, Lindbergh Pharmacy provides personalized service you can count on. Refill prescriptions online at lindberghpharmacy.com or on your smartphone with our free Lindbergh Pharmacy mobile app. You can also sign up for our text alert program and we'll text or email you when your prescription is ready. Can't make it to us? We'll deliver your medications right to your door. Lindbergh Pharmacy, now 2 locations to serve you.
Now back to Dragon football.
Against the Dragons.
The way this offense is going, it's not slowing them down.
During and after the game at Casano's
it's looking good for PHS now. So
at 200 West Centennial in Pittsburg and 3929 East 7th Street in Joplin. Order carryout or see the whole menu at Casano'sPizza.com. Do it Chicago style at Casano's.
Casano's in the Meadowbrook Commons in Pittsburg, now serving lunch. Try the buffet with pizza, drink, and a salad for only $8.99.
Getting the game-winning score is how you feel.
Can you hear us? Shelby.
They have pros that can take your car from 2 with a team of experienced pros that get the job done right the first time. Vietti Auto Body and Alignment will deal with the insurance companies, making it a game-winning experience for you. Vietti Auto Body and Alignment voted your #1 choice for auto repair and independent service and repair again this year. On 4th Street since 1948, or call 231-6230. Find them fast in names and numbers.
Now back to Dragon football.
And we welcome you back to ESPN 100.7 alongside Shelby White and Avi Sharma. I'm Cam Molina, where the score is 28-6. The Purple Dragons lead it. This is their 6th drive of the contest, and the Dragons, who have been absolutely excellent offensively, Avi, are now looking to score again against the Golden Bears. Again, we apologize for the technical difficulties, but the Dragons have been absolutely notorious offensively this season, and it's also been indicative tonight as 3 of their 4 scoring drives have been just one-play drives.
Well, that's why the Golden Bears currently took a timeout right now, Cameron, so they can collect themselves and figure something out, because this Purple Dragon offense, which we know how much potential they have, but Cam, we haven't seen this much fire from them on quick drives like this.
And a quick recap. The Golden Bears started with the football as the Purple Dragons deferred to receive the football in the second half. Chase Curtis, one play, one pass to Dylan White, who takes the top off of defenses every single time out for 43 yards. Score was 7-0 at that point. And then a 5-play, 2-minute drive by the Golden Bears, and a 35-yard rushing touchdown from Richardson made it 7-6 following the PAT miss. Dylan Jordan on a fantastic end-around score from 68 yards away, 14-6 at that point. Then a 6-play drive that lasted over 3 minutes and 44 yards. Curtis found Zachary Sutton for a 5-yard touchdown, and then Chase Curtis to Zachary Sutton again for 50 yards. And Curtis will take the snap from the shotgun formation on a 3rd down and 10, and a wide-open Dylan White towards the near corner of the end zone, running a corner route. No one covered him. It was a very, very loose defense run by this Golden Bear team, and it's 34-6 now. And so far, 4 passing touchdowns for Chase Curtis.
I don't care what route White is going to run. It's going to be wide open because of how fast and how great he is. And just a beautiful throw by Chase Curtis to lead his man for another one.
So just over 2 minutes for the Dragons to score after the ball was spotted at the 37-yard line after a good return by Corbin Jefferson and then a face mask by the Golden Bears, giving the Dragons excellent field position. The score is 35-6, a 29-point lead for Pittsburg High School with under 8 minutes remaining in the first half of action. We will keep it here in Pittsburg, Kansas, just to give you another quick refresher as we had to hurriedly give you all the updates so far in this contest. And we will reiterate again, the Purple Dragons struck first, a 43-yard passing touchdown to Dylan White from Chase Curtis. A 35-yard run by Jalen Richardson for the Golden Bears made it 7-6. And then Dylan Jordan on an end-around run where he absolutely applied a vicious stiff arm to a secondary member of the Golden Bears en route to a 68-yard touchdown run, made it 14-6. And then a 6-play drive that resulted in a touchdown. Chase Curtis found Zachary Sutton from 5 yards away, made it 21-6. Chase Curtis found Zachary Sutton again for 50 yards on a 1-play drive. And then Chase Curtis finding Dylan White for a second receiving touchdown of the contest. 4th passing touchdown by Curtis in this ball game. Puts him over 10 passing touchdowns on the year, 12 to be exact. In total, he has encroached on the 20-touchdown threshold this year, where he has 21. And a kickoff by Neath sails into the night sky in Pittsburg, Kansas, is taken by Doxson from the 10-yard line. Doxson has some blocks in front of him as he is able to scurry across the 30. He's trying to skitter towards the near side of the field, but he's halted at the 31-yard line.
So the score is 35-6, Cam. There's 7:51 on the clock. You got 2 timeouts left here if you're the Golden Bears. I know you're a run-heavy offense, but that clock is now against you with this score. They're going to have to pick up their pace.
So the football will be spotted in between the hash marks at the 36-yard line, or excuse me, the 32-yard line, I beg your pardon, with just under 8 minutes remaining in this first half of action, 7:51 to be exact, as Flynn and company have not found much success since the opening quarter of play. 4-down lineman for the Dragons, handoff to Richardson as he tries to play some bully ball, but he's met by Chase Johnson, a bully himself. Richardson remains on his feet. 3-4 Purple Dragons are needed to finally quell the insatiable thirst of Richardson and drop him short of the 32, maybe at the 31, depending the spot of the football. Either way, it will be 2nd down and long.
Well, there you go, Cam. Because of how far back Richardson starts off, he has to gain yardage first before he's at the line of scrimmage. And so what looked like a long play ended up being a gain of nothing.
A quick reset back at our KSHQ studios. It's Shelby White alongside Avi Sharma. I'm Cam Molina. 35-6 is the score. Purple Dragons lead it with 7 minutes remaining in the first half. Richardson, a gorgeous one cut in between the hash marks, and he's down at the 41-yard line as Chase Johnson as well as Dylan Jordan and Ty Cicero combined to make a tackle on the very elusive, very talented Jalen Richardson, who nears the first down marker, which is spotted at the 43. He was tackled at the 42. It will be a 3rd down and 1. And actually, the officials, I believe, will ask the chain gang to come out onto the field. It will be an official timeout. And to correct myself, the first down marker is at the 42-yard line. And it looks like the nose of the football is crossing the 42, so it may be enough for a first down, Avi.
Yeah, and Cam, I don't know if it's because it's a new month in November, but we are seeing some hard-hitting football tonight, my friend. That last drive when we had the issues going on with our computer, we had some big hits that were going on that drive, and now we just saw another big hit.
Yeah, as you mentioned, big hit. Brandis Evans was tackled in the open field. He flipped through the air, landed on his helmet, and then flat on his back. Clock is stopped at 6:42 as it will be a first down and 10. Ball is at the 42-yard line of the Golden Bears nearest the right hash mark. Golden Bears offense will be from left to right on your radio dial. Under center will be Flynn. He has an offset I formation, deep pitch into the backfield. It's caught by Richardson. Richardson tries to stiff arm Jarek Butcher, but Butcher is there to snare Richardson by the back of his jersey and then spear him to the turf. Jarek Butcher, some immense strength to drag the 190-pound Richardson down behind the line of scrimmage at the 39.
He is such a ball hawk, Cameron. It is absolutely crazy, as it was a loss on the play there. Again, I gotta say this, it's because Richardson is so far back. Like right now, he's at the 30-yard line when the ball's at the 39.
Deep pitch again. Richardson allowing the blocks to form in front of him. He runs into the back of one of his offensive linemen, and he collided with Ricky Jackson before he was met by a plethora of Dragons to set up a third down and long situation.
And guess who he always meets? It looks like he got one-on-one again with Butcher. And so now, again, a third and long for this Golden Bears team. They're going to have to throw the football. And again, Cameron, I don't see Jelani Long out there at the safety position. So air this thing out. Give it a chance. I got to hurry, though. 7 on the play clock.
Sam Roark on the field instead of Dylan White. And Roark trying to get into position. 2 safety deep for the Dragons.
They didn't get it off.
And the play is not executed in time. And Coach Parks on the sideline, not fuming, being stoic. He understood coming into this ballgame that his team needed to be disciplined, and we have not seen that discipline tonight.
Yeah, you cannot it's a 3rd and 11. I get that. And I also get that you don't want to burn a timeout right now. But you cannot afford a delay of game like that. So now it's a 3rd and 16. I mean, look at the team out now. There's 10 seconds on the play clock. Their quarterback's not even getting ready right now.
5 seconds on the play clock
now. They're going.
Flynn needs to hurriedly get this snap off. No one's even set. Flynn looks. He will dial it up deep. One-on-one coverage and a great breakup by Drew Rolfs. He was one-on-one towards the near boundary against the speedy Tyler Wiggins, and the junior was denied a catch. Great defense by Rolfs as he was able to stab his left hand up and deflect the football.
Well, that was a great defensive play by Rolfs, but Cam, I'm just still confused on that play call. 3rd and 16, they just waited to get the play with 6 seconds on the play clock. They just snapped a low snap and just lob it up. Can't do that down by this much early in the game.
High snap. And the kick is up. The ball was fielded by Chris Birch, the junior, and the punter is able to push it across the 40 to the 38-yard line before Joel Kafka signals for a fair catch. 4:37 remaining in the first half of action. A first down and 10 for the Dragons, who up to this point have started with excellent field position. Either they've been close to the 40-yard line in their own territory, midfield, or into Golden Bear territory. They will start from the 39-yard line of KC Turner.
4:37
I beg your pardon, of the Dragons, their own territory.
Yeah, 4:37 on the clock. They got 3 timeouts. Cam, they can definitely do something here to add to their already big lead.
Curtis, tight eye formation, turnaround, pitch to Corbin Jefferson. Jefferson tap dances in the backfield. He'll wheel in between the center and the right guard. Accelerates to the 44-yard line for a gain of 5.
This offense is looking just dominant, Cameron. They cannot be stopped. Whatever they're doing, it's just working. And so this Turner defense just has no idea what to do.
Subbing off for the Purple Dragons, Peyton Steele. Signals being shown from the sideline by the Dragons staff. Shotgun formation, 3 wide receivers set. Dylan Jordan comes in motion again. It's an end around. Jordan allows for the blocks to form. He's across the 45, and then he spins in midair, and he's down at the 50-yard line. And it looks like he was doing some gymnast spin in the air before he finally landed back down to planet Earth.
And he landed in first down territory, Cam. They're going to move the chains. They're going to keep on going. Clock is going to continue to wind. PHS looking good.
A 5-yard run for Dylan Jordan, who has a 68-yard rushing touchdown. And so far, coming into this ball game, the Golden Bears were outscored 267 to 180 this season. Tag on another 35 points as the Purple Dragons lead by 29, 4 seconds on the play clock. Curtis hikes up his right leg, which is masked by a calf sleeve. Curtis steps up the pocket on the line, caught by Zachary Sutton across the 30 and stopped at the 26-yard line. A good gob of yards picked up on the throw, 15 to be approximate.
Not the best throw by Chase Curtis, but an even better catch by Sutton, as Sutton had to stop his route a little bit there, catch it from behind, and first down. PHS almost in the red zone now.
25-yard pickup, I beg your pardon, as the ball is spotted at the 26-yard line. And Sutton has been a monstrous target in this contest so far for Curtis. Handoff up the middle is to Brandis Evans, and Evans continues to string his legs out, string out the Golden Bears defense, and is stopped short of the 20. And there is a Golden Bear slow to get up as Jordan Goff, the senior defensive lineman, is having issues pushing himself off the turf. His hands are currently covering his face mask, and the training staff for the Golden Bears now making their way out onto the field, as well as the Dragons. 2:49 remaining in the first half of action. It will be a 2nd down and 6. When we come back, you're listening to the home of Purple Dragon Athletics on ESPN 100.7, your sports headquarters.
At Performance Spine and Sports, Dr. Bennett specializes in soft tissue-related injuries that result in everyday work and play. Performance Spine and Sports' goal is to improve your overall physical performance with faster recovery. Dr. Bennett specializes in cryotherapy and active release technique, which is a combination of examination to locate the specific injured tissue. Most NFL and NBA teams utilize this technique. Performance Spine and Sports and Dr. Bennett, bringing big city relief to injuries in Southeast Kansas. Performance Spine and Sports inside Meadowbrook Commons at Centennial and Broadway in Pittsburgh.
Now back to Dragon football.
A good sign for Coach Parks, as an injured Golden Bear is able to leave the field under his own power in Jordan Goff, the senior. It is a 2nd down and 6 for the Purple Dragons following a 26-yard hookup between Curtis, and Zachary Sutton, and then a run by Brandis Evans for 4 yards makes it 2nd down and 6 with 2:45 remaining in the first half. Evans is to the right of Curtis. He has 3 wide receivers towards the far side of the field. It's another handoff to Evans. Evans is able to barrel over 2 Golden Bears defenders and then march across the 20 to the 19-yard line, and Brandis Evans puts up his right hand and does the shh signal.
Robert McGill went head-to-head. That was a battle of the fullbacks, as Evans and McGill went head-to-head, and looked like McGill won it at first, but Evans just kept plowing his feet and went right back into him.
I formation, Jefferson the deep back. Cicero comes in motion as he leaps from left to right. Evans is the fullback. It will be a handoff to Brandis Evans, and Evans is able to topple over another Golden Bear defender as he stopped near the 15-yard line, and it looks like it may be enough to move the chain. But before that's made, the back judge as well as the line judge say, hold on, do we want to bring the chain gang out? Before the referee says it's enough to move the chains. The ball is at the 15-yard line, exactly in between both hash marks, almost the epicenter of the both.
Number 4 is in the game for PHS, Cam. They're double teaming him, it looks like, or a couple helpers over the top for him.
Zone shown by the Golden Bears. Curtis comes out, shotgun formation, looks right, out route thrown and incomplete. Zachary Sutton had to adjust to the football, and Curtis put way too much mustard behind that toss.
Not necessarily a bad throw, though, by Curtis, as it looked like it would have gotten a gain of maybe 2 or 3, so, it doesn't hurt you too much there. Just relax. Maybe it wasn't just a throwaway.
And out routes, one of the more difficult routes due to the timing that you have to have with your receivers, and also a quarterback internally. You have to understand when your receiver is going to make his break. Curtis rolls out, far side of the field. He's at the 20-21 on the run, throws, and it is incomplete. And Curtis was trying to hook up with, I believe, Sutton once more, and it was Landon Conrad who tried to drag his back right foot and make the catch. He was right at the pylon towards the far side of the field in the end zone, but good defense by the Golden Bears. It's a 3rd down and 10 from the 15-yard line with under 1:30 remaining in the first half of play.
And 1:29 on the clock, all 3 timeouts. I mean, PHS is taking a couple jabs here. Let's see if they'll go back to their roots in the ground game, but they've been looking so good on the air-it-out game. It's just a choice for them.
Jefferson to the right of Curtis. He has Dylan White towards the near side of the field, and he throws it to a wide-open Ty Cicero, who came bursting off the offensive line and then settled himself on a crossing route right in the end zone. The defense was split. The safeties were nowhere to be found. They were trying to cover their respective corners, which left the middle of the end zone wide open, and Ty Cicero hauls in a touchdown catch. The 5th passing touchdown by Chase Curtis in this ballgame. We are not even at halftime.
Cameron, he's on pace for 10 if this keeps going. My goodness. There were 2 wide open men as Neve kicks this one up.
Neve, his PAT is no good, and he has struggled with that throughout the season. 41-6 is the score. 1:24 remaining in the first half of action. The Purple Dragons sitting pretty right now with a 35-point advantage. We will return you to Hutchinson Field following these messages here on your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7.
Paynes Incorporated in Frontenac is the driveline specialist. Paynes handles all driveline repairs for cars, trucks, 4-wheel drive vehicles, and farm equipment. Paynes can also handle any general machine work and offers 24-hour wrecker service. Call Paynes anytime, 231-3170. Paynes Incorporated is located at the intersection of West McKay and Highway 69 Frontenac Junction. Paynes Incorporated in Frontenac is the driveline specialist.
Now back to Dragon football.
An abysmal first half showing from this Golden Bear team in the regional matchup of the Class 5A State Football Championships in Keisha State High School Activities Association's playoff system, as the Pittsburg High Purple Dragons entering this contest with a 7-2 record against the KC Turner High School Golden Bears, who entered with a 4-5 record. Curtis 5 passing touchdowns with 1:24 remaining in the first half, and a 41-6 lead following a 7-play, 3-minute drive that went 61 yards, scooping the football up from the 15-yard line, trying to run laterally towards the far side of the field. On the return was Beckton, the sophomore. He's pushed back across the 20 to the 21-yard line. The Golden Bears will set up shop just across their 20, and Flynn, the quarterback for this team, has struggled entering this contest, Avi. Flynn, the senior, 19 of 64 passing, 262 yards, 1 touchdown, 8 interceptions.
Wow. Well, I mean, Cam, they're going to have to believe in the air-it-out game now, as there's 1:18 left in the first half, and they're going to have to get going, Cam, or it's going to get even worse because this offense for PHS is on fire.
2 timeouts for the Golden Bears remaining in this first half of play, as Richardson will bulldoze over his own teammate towards the near side of the field. He stopped at the 30 following a 9-yard pickup, and actually where he landed, his right knee was on the 30, but he stretched out the football to the 31 where the first down chain is at, and that may be enough to make it a new set of downs, and it is. Richardson picks up 10 on the sprint.
Yeah, it looked like it was enough, and so now move the chains. These guys look like they're in no rush, though, Cam, as they are just taking their time. Now here they are, 10 seconds on the play clock, and they're setting up their formation now.
7 seconds on the play clock. I formation, 3-wing set. Deep pitches to Richardson. Richardson with a little bit of a crease towards the near side of the field. He's at the 50, the 45, lowering a shoulder and wrapping up Richardson around his right leg was Joel Kafka, who ultimately escorted him out of bounds. A great run by Richardson as he stopped at the 37-yard line of the Purple Dragons. He was able to burst forth for a 31-yard gain.
Well, that stopped the clock for one. That is a huge break for this KC Turner team, as they still have their 2 timeouts, but 40 seconds. I mean, the rush has got to be a little bit on right now if they want to score.
And for this K.C. Turner team, passing may not be an option. Flynn and his receivers just have not had enough time to really connect. Richardson on a design pass finds his wide open receiver, and Becton across the 5 into the end zone. And losing the football at the end of the play was Becton. Swinging his arm down like a gavel was Joel Kapka, and now there will be a conferring of officials
touchback
towards the far side of the field at the pylon. It will be a touchback. Unbelievable. Becton, who had stretched out his arms to put the football across the pylon, actually a detrimental play, as Coach Parks wants an explanation now. The graduate of Baker University and transfer of Fort Scott Community College. Becton was open in the secondary. A beautiful on-the-move throw by Richardson that was pinpoint accuracy. The ball was swatted out of the hands of Becton by Joel Kapka, and now it will be a touchback.
Coaches preach this for a reason, Cameron. Never give up on a play. That's exactly what Kapka did, as he swatted that thing out, and it was a perfect timing as that ball went out of bounds. That's the right call, as that's a touchback. That's a game changer. Even though this is a 41-6 game, that could have been some momentum for this Golden Bears team.
So the Purple Dragon with their 7th offensive possession. Corbin Jefferson winds towards the near side of the field, and he's pushed out of bounds. Some extra contact at the end of things by Cameron Bates, the linebacker. That stops the clock with 21 seconds remaining, and it will be a 2nd down and medium situation. The Purple Dragons up 41-6. Make sure to stick around for the SEK Urgent Care halftime report. We will be joined by Shelby White, who will give us an update from around the area, as well as the Kansas State High School Activities Association Class 5A state bracket. And actually, we have an update for you, courtesy of Mr. White. St. Thomas Aquinas up 14-7 over Bonner Springs in the 2nd quarter. That is the game to watch. The winner of that contest at this rate will play the Purple Dragons, as Evans will take it right up the gut across the 40 to the 43-yard line. Brandis Evans, 16 yards and a man on a mission. 15 seconds on the clock, and it looks like Coach Nicholson has used a timeout.
And looks like there was a slow Golden Bear to get up as well, Cam. Is Rodney Carroll, the senior, as he is just limping off the field. And we have another update. It is 28-7 Webb City over Carl Junction right now at the half.
And to correct myself, I redact my last statement. Coach Nicholson will not use a timeout. The clock did stop momentarily while the ball is being reset, and Coach Nicholson more than content with going into the locker room with a 41-6 lead, led by a senior quarterback, Chase Curtis's 5 passing touchdown and an unbelievable defensive showcase on their home field in the regional contest against this Golden Bears team. We will step aside for 2 minutes and toss you back to our KSHQ studios for the SEK Urgent Care halftime report. You will be joined by Shelby White, and then back to Avi Sharma and myself at Hutchinson Field for a look over the first half of action and an insight into the second half of play. You're listening to the home of Purple Dragon Athletics on ESPN 100.7, your sports headquarters.
Grilling season's year-round in these parts. You can almost hear the sizzle of a juicy steak. Don't forget to check your propane levels, and if you're low, it's time to head to Kirkland Welding Supply. Most 20-pound grill tank exchanges contain only 17 to 18 pounds of propane, but at Kirkland's, when you get your grill tank filled, Kirkland's will fill it to 20 pounds. Why pay for propane you aren't getting? Kirkland Welding Supply, 3rd and Joplin in Pittsburg, and at 1301 East Wall in Fort Scott, open 8 to 5 Monday through Friday and 9 to noon Saturday.
Stop in at Bo's One Stop for everything from gas to groceries. Bo's has drink specials daily from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. In a hurry, grab a hot cup of coffee and hot breakfast or lunch from the deli and watch for daily specials. Bo's One Stop also has fishing supplies. Bo's One Stop is really just that, your one stop for all your in-the-hurry world with great friendly service. Bo's would like to congratulate the Pittsburg High Dragons on a great season and continued success in the playoffs. Before you head to the game, stop in at Bo's One Stop on 4th Street, Pittsburg. Go Dragons!
The true test of a great insurance agency comes when you suffer a loss. It's easy to take your premiums, but Ray Ryan of Ryan Insurance of Pittsburgh knows that handling your claim is the most important service an insured needs.
Claim is our chance to let the customer know that we'll be out there, not just that we sold them a policy, we'll also be there when a claim occurs to make sure it gets handled in an honest, respectable way.
Ryan Insurance of Pittsburgh, a trusted choice agency. Find them fast in names and numbers.
At Performance Spine and Sports, Dr. Bennett specializes in soft tissue-related injuries that result in everyday work and play. Performance Spine and Sports' goal is to improve your overall physical performance with faster recovery. Dr. Bennett specializes in cryotherapy and active release technique, which is a combination of examination to locate the specific injured tissue. Most NFL and NBA teams utilize this technique. Performance Spine and Sports and Dr. Bennett, bringing big city relief to injuries in Southeast Kansas. Performance Spine and Sports inside Meadowbrook Commons at Centennial and Broadway in Pittsburgh.
Hi, this is Dr. Brent Cousins with SEK Urgent Care. When you're sick, when you're injured, or when you just don't feel like yourself, SEK Urgent Care is here for you. Let our skilled providers treat your non-life-threatening illness or injury at a fraction of the time and cost of an ER visit. Located at the corner of Centennial and Broadway in the Meadowbrook Commons, open 7 days a week for your convenience. SEK Urgent Care, where your family and time matter. Find us fast on names and numbers.
Now back to Dragon football.
Welcome into the sports headquarters studio. I am Shelby White. Get you some scores from around the league, starting with 4A Division II football here in Kansas. The Columbus Titans traveled to Burlington and lead Burlington 13-8 at halftime. Over in Missouri, Class II D4 football, your Lamar Tigers, voiced by Tyler Darrow, which you can listen to over on My Country 101.7, are up on Fairgrove 33-0 at halftime. In Oklahoma, Afton throwing a shutout big 46-0 over Quapaw with about 3 minutes left to go in the second quarter. Afton 46, Quapaw 0 with about 3 left in the second quarter. In the 4A Division I football playoffs here in Kansas, Chanute traveled to Fort Scott. Fort Scott, just about an hour north of us on Highway 69. Fort Scott leads 22-7 heading into halftime. Over in Webb City, the rivalry game, Class 4 Division V football, Webb City leading Carl Junction 28-7 at halftime. Webb City 28, Carl Junction 7. Frontenac playing host to Girard in a 4A Division II football regional matchup, which you can listen to this on 103.5 The X. Listen to Rob Strand call that game. Frontenac is leading Girard 27-0 at halftime. Frontenac 27, Girard 0. And the game that you've been listening to here on ESPN 1007, your Pittsburgh Purple Dragons lead the Kansas City Turner Golden Bears 41-6 at halftime. More scores. Kansas 2 1A football playoffs. The St. Mary's Colgan Panthers playing host to the Linden Tigers. St. Mary's is up 35-0 at halftime. That game you can listen to on 1340 AM, 107.9 FM, KSCK. Also, they're playing this game at Kearney Smith Stadium, the home of the Pittsburgh State Gorillas, an interesting little venue for that game. Colgan up 35-0 over Linden. More Oklahoma scores. Holbert trails Fairland 18-14. Fairland 18, Holbert 14 in the second quarter. At halftime, Lebec County hosting Paola. Lebec County leads 13-7 in this 4A Division I regional playoff. Lebec County 13, Paola 7. In Oklahoma, Adair leads Commerce by a single point in the second quarter. Adair 8, Commerce 7. More Kansas 2-1A football. Olpe absolutely destroying Yates Center right now. Olpe 43, Yates Center 0. I already mentioned the Columbus-Burlington score, but for those of you who may have missed it when we first came into the halftime, Columbus is up 13-8 over Burlington. Other scores in Oklahoma, Afton leading Quapaw 34-0 going into halftime. Grove playing host to Miami. Grove leads that one 20-6 at halftime. Last update that we have from the St. Thomas Aquinas Bonner Springs game. St. Thomas is up 14-7 over Bonner Springs. The winner of that game will play your Pittsburgh Purple Dragons should Pittsburgh hold on, which it is looking like they will. More scores from around Kansas playoffs. Andover Central is leading Mulvane at halftime, 20-14. Osborne is leading Clifton Clyde in 8-man Division I at 28-6. Osborne 28, Clifton Clyde 6. In another 2-1A score at halftime, Sedgwick is up 24 over Ellis Salina, 24 to 14. An 8-man final, Burlington 34, Victoria 24. Interesting note in that game going forward, Burlington lost their All-State quarterback Dalton Sporing, who injured his leg. Garden City up 16 over Topeka. Garden City over Topeka 16-7. That's a 6A score. Another 6A playoff score. Blue Valley up over Olathe South 21-14. Manhattan up over Derby 14-7. That's another 6A score. 8-man Division I, Spearville 22, St. Francis 6. 4A Division II, Kingman 14, Scott City 7. Free State 27, Junction City 0. That's a 6A one. And the last one that we have from 2A 1A, Smith Center 27, Medical Lodge 0. We will step aside for 2 minutes, and then we will send it back out to Hutchinson Field for your voice of the Pittsburgh Purple Dragons, Cam Molina and Avi Sharma. You are listening to the SEK Urgent Care Halftime Report.
Grilling season's year-round in these parts. You can almost hear the sizzle of a juicy steak. Don't forget to check your propane levels, and if you're low, it's time to head to Kirkland Welding Supply. Most 20-pound grill tank exchanges contain only 17 to 18 pounds of propane, but at Kirkland's, when you get your grill tank filled, Kirkland's will fill it to 20 pounds. Why pay for propane you aren't getting? Kirkland Welding Supply, 3rd and Joplin in Pittsburgh, and at 1301 East Wall in Fort Scott, open 8 to 5 Monday through Friday and 9 to noon Saturday.
What does it take to have a truly positive reputation? At Vogel Heating and Cooling, we know reputation is earned by consistent performance, by serving our customers' best interest, by providing top quality, energy efficient ream equipment and service for Southeast Kansas homeowners. Vogel Heating and Cooling is a Ream Factory authorized dealer and has been serving the area for over 20 years. Turn to the experts. Turn to Vogel Heating and Cooling.
Customer first, safety always. It's not just a tagline, it's the Watco way. By focusing on safety, each and every day they build a future by protecting their customers, team members, community, and the environment. When Watco moves commodities by rail, river, and road, at home or across North America and Australia, their priority is to ensure that they deliver their loads safely and on time. Watco wishes all area teams a safe and successful season.
Hi, this is Dr. Brent Cousins with SEK Urgent Care. When you're sick, when you're injured, or when you just don't feel like yourself, SEK Urgent Care is here for you. Let our skilled providers treat your non-life-threatening illness or injury at a fraction of the time and cost of an ER visit. Located at the corner of Centennial and Broadway in the Meadowbrook Commons. Open 7 days a week for your convenience. SEK Urgent Care, where your family and time matter. Find us fast on names and numbers.
Now back to Dragon football.
A merry welcome back to Southeast Kansas in Pittsburg, Kansas at Hutchinson Field, where the Purple Dragons are defending their gridiron 41-6 at intermission against the KC Turner Golden Bears. Which shall be right back at our KSHQ studios alongside Avi Sharma. I'm Cam Molina. Avi, in that first half, it was a dismantling of this Golden Bears team. Let's start with the positives at least. Jalen Richardson comes out, rushes for 124 yards on the ground and a touchdown. At one point, this game was just a one-point contest. Richardson rushed in from 35 yards away, making it 7-6. But since then, it's just been an unprecedented run by the Purple Dragon as they have been able to put up 34 unanswered points.
One stat stands out to me right now, Cameron. 5 touchdowns by Chase Curtis in the first half. Absolutely phenomenal display right there. I mean, let's face it, PHS is not known for the air-it-out game this all season long, as they've had to overcome some injuries and stuff. First game of the season, they actually aired it out quite a bit, but that's the last time we saw an offensive air-it-out game like this. And now all of a sudden, they got 5 touchdowns in the first half, and they're looking dominant because of it. And for this Golden Bears team, their offense has to do something other than the running game right now.
Curtis's first 5 passing touchdown performance of his career, second 5 touchdown performance overall in total of his career, though. He had 5 touchdowns earlier this season against Fort Scott High School on the road. As we look at Chase Curtis's stats, approximately only 2 passes were incomplete in that first half, 156 yards through the air, 5 passing touchdowns. Dylan White, 2 receptions, 53 yards, 2 touchdowns. Zachary Sutton, 4 receptions, 93 yards, 2 touchdowns. And he's really taken on the massive load for this receiving corps this season, now with 20 receptions and up over 200 yards receiving on the year, including 3 receiving touchdowns. Then Ty Cicero, before the first half ended, 1 reception, 15 yards, and a touchdown. And then a steady mix of Corbin Jefferson and Brandis Evans on the ground. But this team, led by Coach Parks and the Golden Bears, really planned for the ground game, and that is one thing he emphasized to me. They have a great trio of halfbacks in Jelani Long, who has been used sparingly since the Wichita North game. In addition, Brandis Evans and Corbin Jefferson. Those guys, for the most part, have been quite quiet, compared from their normal nights. But for Chase Curtis in this offense, they have been absolutely dominating through the air. And the secondary for this Golden Bears team was not expecting this sort of output from the senior quarterback and his receivers.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was Coach Nicholson changing up the play calling a little bit, and it's working out just fine for him, as he has been – I mean, he's got to be relaxed and he's got to be fine, but you know how Coach Nicholson is. He's going to put the pedal to the metal. He's going to make sure that this second half is just as good as the first half, Cam, because they're going to want to play all 4 quarters. Coach Nicholson has preached that time and time again. That's exactly what they're going to do. But, we might see a couple changes, as it's like the same thing that we saw last time. It might be some other guys getting some repetition again.
And a quick update from Shelby White. St. Thomas Aquinas 21, Bonner Springs 13 at intermission. I don't believe you and I thought that this game between Aquinas and Bonner Springs would be as close as it is currently, only separated by 8 points. Bonner Springs was derailed by this Pittsburg High School team earlier on in the season, 29-19, I beg your pardon. But this Purple Dragon offense, again, firing on all cylinders against Kansas teams this season. The Purple Dragons, entering the contest, put up 252 points compared to the 78 points of their opponents. Now with that 41 added on, 293 points, which is just shy of 50 points per game compared to the 13 points per contest from their opponents. And if the Purple Dragons continue this pace, they will be 12-1 against teams in Kansas since 2016. And speaking of previous years, Coach Nicholson is seeking to reach a sectional round for the first time since 2014 and 15. Coach Nicholson in 2014 beat Mill Valley in the regional, but lost to Shawnee Mission in the sectional 34-14. And then in 2015, reversed that. They beat Shawnee Mission 49-0 and then lost to Mill Valley 56-21 in 2015. That's when Mill Valley won the state championship over Bishop Carroll. And entering this contest, from 2016 to 2017, the Purple Dragons 3-0 versus Caw Valley teams, 115-41. That is the scoring differential between this Purple Dragon team and Caw Valley opponents. Go ahead and add 41 onto that. That's 156 points to a measly 47 points.
Well, I don't know where or whom Coach Nicholson called for his offensive play calling right now, but it is just phenomenal, as it can't be stopped. And I'm watching Chase Curtis over there warming up. He looks good. He's feeling good, and I bet you the rest of this team is, as they're up big right before this second half starts, Cam.
And Avi, despite Julian Parks being a first-year head coach, he's been a defensive coordinator with this team for 5 years, and then another 2 as a special teams coordinator. He knows this team fairly well, and to start off the season, this team struggled. They lost to Bonner Springs 56-0. They've been shut out 3 times this season, but time and time again, they bounced back. They were able to beat Washington, able to beat Wyandotte, and then Sumner Academy last week. This team had some intensity coming into this ball game. We saw during their pregame workouts as well as their warm-ups. And in addition, when Richardson scored that touchdown, this Golden Bear team seemed to be extremely competitive heading into the latter stages of the first quarter. But 34 unanswered points, I don't know what you can say to defend this club. What do they need to do in this second half? Albeit it may not be something that leads to their victory, but to get back on track and find some offensive continuity.
Well, the first thing they're going to need to do is they're going to need to make a defensive stop. They have yet to do that this entire game, Cam, and that's a statement right there, is to get a defensive stop, and then when you get the ball on offense, you got to go. You don't have time to waste now, as a potential clock could be starting to wind down now. You got to pick up your pace. You're going to have to throw the ball. I know the stats don't show that it's, it's not looking good for them, but it does not matter. It's a new game. It's a new season technically, as it's playoffs, as we've mentioned this time and time and again. So this Golden Bears team is going to have to try something different than what they're sticking to right now.
Back to return for the Purple Dragons is Corbin Jefferson, as Coach Tom Nicholson's crew deferred on the opening coin toss, and the Dragons expecting an onside kick as Jefferson is in shallow field, if you will, at the 23-yard line. Martinez with a kick that sails right into the midst of Corbin Jefferson. He plants his right foot at the 19-yard line. He'll swivel towards the far side of the field and is stopped at the 35-yard line. And a return of about 15 yards gives the Purple Dragons good field position yet again, and they will begin this drive from their own 35-yard line on the right hash mark. And this team offensively, as you said, has not been stopped.
Yeah, and 18's on the field, Cameron, so you know they're going to go to work and they're going to do the best they can, but be prepared since they got this big lead. I see a ground game coming up, but yeah, I could be wrong. They got trips already starting out on the left side.
3 wide receivers all lined up towards the near side of the field with Corbin Jefferson to the left of Curtis. It's an off-tackle run by Corbin Jefferson, and Jefferson tackled by the shoelaces. He had some room to wiggle towards the outside, but he was tackled by Bates, the linebacker, as he exploded from the line of scrimmage. If that had not been a shoestring tackle, I think Jefferson would have had a touchdown just because of his electrifying speed. Ball is placed just shy of the 40 at the 39-yard line, nearest the right hash mark after a gain of 4.
PHS wasting no time. They're on the ball. 10 seconds left on the play clock. They're running the play.
Offset trips towards the near side of the field. Corbin Jefferson again. He has some room in between the hash marks. Turns on the accelerators across the 30 and is finally wrapped up and slung down short of the 20 at the 21-yard line. A massive burst coming from Corbin Jefferson as he shot up the middle of the field.
Well, Cam, we didn't know if Jelani Long was we didn't think Jelani Long was gonna play in this game. We thought that would be a little bit of a factor. It's not a problem at all for this Dragon offense. Is Corbin Jefferson doing a phenomenal job stepping in.
39-yard sprint from Corbin Jefferson. His season long entering the contest 70 yards. Jefferson to the left of Curtis. He hikes up his right leg, which is covered with a calf sleeve. Curtis over the middle. Zachary Sutton able to reel it in, and he's into the end zone for a touchdown. The 3rd receiving touchdown by Zachary Sutton. The 6th passing touchdown by Chase Curtis. And my goodness, this is an offensive exhibition, and the Golden Bears have no answer for this amazing senior quarterback.
6 passing touchdowns. The record in the NFL is 7. Remember that. One of your former boys, Nick Foles, made that record.
Correct, of the Philadelphia Eagles.
I mean, Chase Curtis might be part of that history.
Neef's PAT is a high-arcing kick that sails right over the low bar of the field goal post. 10:52 remaining in the 3rd quarter. 48-6 is the score, and the Dragons lead it by 42. We will step aside for 30 seconds to bring you back more action from Pittsburg, Kansas. You're listening to the home of Purple Dragon Athletics on ESPN 100.7.
What's the buzz around Community National Bank and Trust? They're talking mobile banking, instant issue debit cards, rewards checking and credit cards, and let's not forget e-power checking, paying better than CD-like rates on a checking account, plus nationwide ATM fee refunds. Get in on the buzz. Community National Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
Now back to Dragon football.
This upbeat offense, 3 plays, 1 minute, 65 yards. That was all it took to traverse upfield for Curtis and Zachary Sutton. Curtis tossing his 6th touchdown of the contest. Zachary Sutton reeling in his 3rd receiving touchdown as Nathan Neef places the pigskin vertically on the orange tee, which is spotted at the 40-yard line, directly in the middle of the hash marks. Neef takes a few steps back and then 5 steps to his left. His bright yellow sunshine cleats ready to turn up some turf. Neef. Shallow kick and almost a squib that's taken from the 20-yard line and a running start. And then a massive tackle as a flag comes in from the near side of the field, thrown at the 40-yard line. But absolutely uprooting on the tackle is a player that we do not have on our roster, number 38 for the Purple Dragons. So I beg your pardon. And it'll be a hold on the return by the Golden Bears, so add insult to injury. The ball was at the 27. They will go 10 yards back to the 17.
So here we go, Cam. They've had a little bit of time to discuss for this offense. They had a whole halftime break. They had one drive, and now here comes this offense, and it's got to be something up pace and got to go. This potentially could be the last game for a lot of these guys on this field.
Well, Coach Julian Parks in the regular season going 3-5, including 1-5 in league play. Parks is an alum of K.C. Turner. He graduated back in 1999, went to Fort Scott Community College where he was recruited, then to Baker University as Richardson will get the pitch. He will weave towards the near side of the field and is stopped at the 21-yard line after 4 yards on the ground. But Coach Parks spending his time with Baker University, and after he graduated with a bachelor's degree in education, he spent 2 seasons coaching there from 2004 to 2005. Then he was hired by K.C. Turner in 2006. He was the defensive coordinator after a few years working his way up from a D-backs coach and then a special teams coordinator too, and now the head coach. As Flynn turns around, pitches out again to Richardson, who's tackled by Dylan Jordan at the 22-yard line. 3rd down and 5 now.
Yeah, we'll see what they want to do on this 3rd and 5. They passed it a couple times. We saw a trick play that worked out very well for him, a halfback pass that should have been 6, but the great play by Kafka to deny that, and so now here's a 3rd and 6, 9:40 on the clock.
Richardson with his gold cleats standing behind the 20-yard line at the 17, and there is a good 8-yard difference between the line of scrimmage and Richardson as a flag flies, and it looked like the right tackle, Ryan Johnson, moved for the Golden Bears, but no decision has been made yet by the referee, and it is a false start, so instead of a 3rd and 6, it is a 3rd and 11, 5 penalties against this Golden Bears team now.
Discipline, Cam. Got to have discipline. That one hurts. So instead of like that 3rd and 6, you mentioned 3rd and 11. You've seen this Golden Bears deep offense struggle on long 3rd downs.
Under 9:30 remaining in the 3rd quarter of action. 48-6 is the score. The Dragons lead it. Jarek Butcher currently coordinating with Drew Rolfs, who's located towards the left side of the field, nearest Coach Nicholson, and the cornerback is now saying delay of game as the flag comes in from the back judge. That would be the 3rd delay of game against this Golden Bears team. And an identical situation to the 2nd quarter where it was a false start preceded by a delay of game. And now they're just saying, the referee is saying that there is no flag. So play clock at 18 now. Flynn takes a snap. Quick slant. Ball popped up. Jump ball intercepted by Jarek Butcher, but there is a flag down. Butcher escorts himself into the end zone, and the caravan is waved off. Flynn is slow to get up, and he has to be assisted up momentarily by Corey Mackin, as it appears to be on the field. And I think it was a roughing the passer call or unnecessary roughness following the interception, but that ball was live in the air.
Helmet-to-helmet shot is what the call was. They were, it was, I didn't get to see the after hit as I was paying attention to the ball, as were you, Cam, but the referee called it was a helmet-to-helmet on the quarterback.
So the helmet-to-helmet collision, instead of it being a pick six by Butcher, will be a fresh set of downs for the Golden Bears if that is the case, as there is a congregation of zebras at the 10-yard line. And currently the Purple Dragons leading 48-6 right now, under 9 minutes remaining in this third quarter of play. And it will be a personal foul going against this Purple Dragons team. Helmet-to-helmet contact. The Golden Bears will maintain possession of the football as the pigskin is being trolleyed across the 30 to the 31-yard line. With under 9 minutes remaining in this third quarter, Flynn and company now have a glittering opportunity in front of them.
Yep, and that's a break. That's a huge break.
Flynn turns, hands off, up the middle, and trying to barge forward is Bates. Bates only picking up minimal yardage. 2 yards on the carry, 2nd down and 8.
It's a huge break again, like I mentioned, for this Golden. Oh, we have a flag on the play, and I think this is going to go against the Purple Dragon sideline as Coach Nicholson is fed up. He has his headset off.
And now Jared Butcher subbing on, as you said. Coach Nicholson was not pleased with the decision as he came out barking mad. He's just wearing a white polo with a white Under Armour shirt underneath that's long sleeve to keep himself warm in this brisk November wind on this beautiful Friday night. For it being November, the weather has been fairly advantageous for people living in the southeast Kansas area. Twin wings for Flynn, a deep pitch to Richardson. He has a small hole that is quickly shored up by the Purple Dragons defense. Dylan Jordan as well as Ty Cicero there to make a combination tackle after a 1-yard pickup from Richardson.
So back-to-back big penalties on this Purple Dragon team, and you know the guy that Coach Nicholson is, he will take the heat on that sideline warning. But now this Golden Bears team is looking like they can potentially do something here, Cam. This could be a drive that they need.
Well, Avi, it wasn't even a warning. They granted the Golden Bears a first down because of the sideline interference or infraction, as you said. As Richardson tries to tap dance in the backfield, he's being ushered out towards the far boundary by Chase Johnson, and then a group of Purple Dragons finally able to force him out of bounds shy of the 50-yard line at the 48, a run of 2.
Keeps him inbounds. The clock will continue to run. Definitely the other opponent here for this Golden Bears team. As, you know, it's a confusing drive so far. We've seen a couple interesting penalties so far.
So, to my knowledge, 3 flags.
Look out.
And Dylan Jordan was able to sniff out that play before Flynn even snapped it. And now he's doing the shark fin celebration with his right hand over his helmet. And just like Jaws, he was able to creep into the backfield and chomp up the halfback.
What a play. My goodness, that was something else, and that's going to lead up to a 4th down. They got to punt this thing away, Cam. That's got to be frustrating.
How about a negative 9-yard run by Richardson, and the punt attempt is now set up for Birch. Back to return Corbin Jefferson and Kafka for the Purple Dragons, and I would be really intrigued if Coach Nicholson put out his starters in this situation, as Kafka calls for a fair catch at his own 28-yard line, but Chase Curtis will come out onto the field. He does not have running clock, but he does have Brett Freeman in the backfield. and Landon Conrad in. So I think it will be a change of offensive approach. I think it will be more of a ground and pound attack, as you continually said early on in this contest, that is the key alongside the defensive side of things.
Lucky number 7, though, Cam?
I don't know if he will tie anything that is relatively close to an NFL record, but man, 6 passing touchdowns, still really impressive.
I think we know who our player of the game is already.
3 wide receiver set, play action to Freeman, lob over the middle, and the ball is intercepted. Ty Cicero is the intended target, and now mushing down the near side boundary, skipping across the 25 to the 20-yard line on an excellent read at midfield, taking it all the way back deeper in the Purple Dragon territory is Joey Flynn. And now a flag comes out at the 21-yard line, and the Purple Dragons are saying that there was some extracurricular activity or unnecessary roughness going against the Golden Bears.
It's going to be an unsportsmanlike. It was a taunt on the Golden Bears that's going to push them back afterwards.
So the taunt, instead of giving the Golden Bears the football at the 21, that will subsequently force them further back, probably near their own 35-yard line.
So maybe you got a little too greedy with the 6 touchdown passes, as Chase Curtis has been absolutely perfect all night long. His first mistake, and now this is, this is going to be a statement here, drive here for this defense, because they're now in their own, backed up with their feet back to the wall. So we'll see if they can make a stand here and keep this Golden Bear offense out of the end zone.
So this will be the the second drive of this third quarter for the Golden Bears. They will start from the Pittsburg 35-yard line, and flags out already. And screaming at the top of his lungs is Bates as he's yelling at his offensive lineman following a false start.
Said it many times before tonight, Cam. Discipline. Got to have it. Cannot afford those silly mistakes.
And this Golden Bears team, as highly touted as they were entering this contest, have absolutely imploded in terms of discipline and just allowing the Dragons to pass all over them. And Ty Cicero is able to torpedo in between the right tackle and the right guard and wrap up Richardson around his ankles for a -1 yard run on the play.
Dragon defense looking good, doing what they got to do, and we'll see what the Golden Bears can respond with as they have 15 on the play clock.
2nd down and 16, 5:39 remaining in the third quarter of action. Fake handoff to Bates. Richardson will keep it himself. He lunges across the 40 to the 42-yard line. Only a 1 to 2 yard pickup on the sprint by the sophomore, who has had a stellar season and a stellar first half, but since then has been silent.
Well, when you don't pass the ball too much, you focus on the other side, and so PHS has been bringing the heat. They've been blitzing, and that's making it hard for Richardson to get his positive yardage. And now a 3rd and long again for this Golden Bears offense.
3rd down and 12, 5 minutes remaining in the third. 4 wide receivers set, 2 offset on each side. Play action, wide receiver screen, overthrown, and the target was Jalen Richardson. And Richardson had some space in front of him, and it would have been a first down. If not a first, it would have been very, very close. So now a 4th down and 12 with 4:53 remaining in the third quarter of action. And I think this is 4-down territory for Coach Parks as he keeps his offense out on the field, but the play clock is at 16 seconds now.
Yeah, I agree. It's got to be 4-down territory. You got to go. You got to do something here.
Best position so far for the Golden Bears since probably midway through the second quarter. And now Coach Parks will use a timeout. His first timeout used in this second half of action as Flynn and the rest of his Golden Bear companions are going to speak with their ringleader on the sideline. 48-6 is the score. The Purple Dragons with a 42-point edge. Under 5 minutes remaining in the third quarter of action. We will step aside for 30 seconds and bring you back more action from Pittsburg, Kansas on your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7.
I had no idea you did that.
That's what I said when I learned CDL does more than just electrical work. Like plumbing, heat and air, security cameras and alarms, generators, solar panels, even signs for my business. CDL really is one company that has a solution for about everything in my home and business. Learn more at cdlsolution.com.
Now back to Dragon football.
Down and 12. This is 4-down territory for the Golden Bears as Coach Park sends his entourage out onto the field, trailing 48-6, 4:53 remaining in the third quarter of action in the regional section of the Class 5A state playoffs in Kansas. And a flag comes in from the downs judge, and you would imagine it is on the Golden Bears, which instead of it being a 4th down and 12, it will probably be extended.
And you know, it's actually an offsides against the Purple Dragons. But one thing I'm noticing is that the quarterback there is every time he snaps it, he immediately drops back before the ball is even snapped. So if you watch that, maybe that's what gets these defensive guys to go.
4th down and 7, under 5 to go. Flynn takes a shot. Kafka back to cover. It will fall incomplete and completely overthrowing Becton in the end zone, and the 5A receiver will just skulk back to the sideline.
That's another win for this defense, Cam. They did what they wanted to by keeping them out of the end zone, and so now the offense comes back out.
4:46 remaining in this third quarter. The Purple Dragons will begin their offensive drive from the 32, and if this was a quarterback rating formula in front of us prior to the interception thrown by Chase Curtis, he would have been at a 158.3. Perfect. 6 passing touchdowns, no picks up until the pass thrown over the middle that was intercepted. And up the middle, spinning out of a tackle and continuing to truck forward following the initial contact, Sam Roark, the backup fullback. And Roark goes from the 32 to the 47-yard line as he scampers for 21 yards.
What a run that was, but Cam, I got to go back to that perfect QBR rating. Why is it that number? I still don't get that to this day.
It's just what the formula is based off of. It's when you take into account every single factor, that is what the output is. I cannot tell you why. Specifically, that is the maximum amount of perfection, if you will, that as it is there's a flag on the field.
There are 12 men on the field for the Golden Bears.
And that flag is thrown in the general vicinity of the man now walking off the field, and Luke Green, the sophomore. But I cannot tell you why, when that formula was created, that was the limit. When you look at college football, I think the max QBR is like 320-something or 280-something.
Science. Just let it happen.
Exactly.
Just let it happen.
Good thing we are communication majors
and
not math majors. Strong left formation. Strong I will have Corbin Jefferson in the backfield. Pitch to Jefferson. He makes one smart cut, and now we'll move back in between another Golden Bear defender who tried to lunge at his leg. Jefferson across the 30 and is short of the 25-yard line at the 29, a gain of 13.
And we got a couple quick score updates for you as Webb City's up 28-14 over CJ with 8 minutes left in the third. And Mays is up against Wichita Heights 24-14.
And that is a surprise. My alma mater, the Eagles, leading by 10 in Class 5A. In the West bracket, Wichita Heights, a reputable school for any and all sports over the last dual decades, and now a flag comes out. I think it was a false start. I think Christian Wood moved far too early at the receiver position, and that is the case. So Woods comes back and apologizes, but Curtis just says, hey, it's fine, let's just get back on track. So the ball will be moved back to the 32-yard line following the false start. Dylan White subs onto the field, and subbing off for the Purple Dragons is Patrick Sullivan, the senior.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little mistake, but, I mean, that's what happens. And now it looked like they were actually going to throw on that last play.
Curtis takes it from the gun, handoff, swiveling towards the near side of the field across the 30, short of the 25, at the 27 is Roark once more, and he gains back the yards his team lost due to the penalty.
Yep, so 3:07 left on the clock here in the third quarter. PHS is in complete control. We'll see if this will be the last drive, if you will, for the starters as they are knocking on the door potentially.
Under 3 minutes remaining in this third quarter. 48-6 the score. The Purple Dragons lead it. Trio of receivers over towards the far side of the field. Wide receiver screen. Sutton will make a hard cut as he plants his right leg and then mushes in between the blocks in front of him for a minimal gain. He's short of the 20 at the 21-yard line. A pickup of 6 yards in a 3rd down and 3.
3rd and 3, 2:30 on the clock. A lot of subs in and out for PHS, and this is short yardage. Is Evans on the field? We might see Evans plow it up the middle. It is not Evans. I think it's Roark. He might get the call.
Curtis turns around. Handoff is to Roark. Roark, a nifty move, and he finds open space towards the right seam, and he's in for a touchdown from 21 yards away. Sam Roark, what a terrific run. He found a small crease in between the center and the right guard and absolutely exploded through it and found his way into the end zone, torching the Golden Bears defense, and now the score 54-6.
And out comes Neef. He missed it. That was his first miss last field goal attempt.
Neef is out to attempt the PAT. Weimer's the holder. Neef, kick is up, and the dart is well off. Neef never truly was underneath the kick and absolutely pushed it towards the left portion of the field goal post. 54-6 is the score, a 48-point lead for the Purple Dragons. We will step aside and bring you back more action for Pittsburg, Kansas following this.
Now accepting new clients. At the Pet Care and Surgery Center, Dr. James Clark believes all of our pets deserve kind, humane, and loving treatment. From a simple checkup or rabies vaccination to performing major surgery. Plus, Dr. Clark has boarding, grooming, nutrition, and wellness checkups. Dr. James Clark can provide that loving member of your family with the treatment they deserve. Call 620-308-6454 to set up an appointment or simply visit petcarecenter.org. Pet Care and Surgery, making a difference.
Now back to Dragon football.
Just over a 3-minute drive for the Purple Dragons. 5 plays that traversed over 67 yards, 68 to be exact, as Sam Roark scores his first touchdown for the Purple Dragons at the varsity level this season, as Nathan Neef, who missed the PAT, is set to kick it off. And a trio of returners for the Golden Bears, who trail 54-6, and now running clock will take effect. As it is a 48-point lead, and the ball is scooped up from the 5-yard line. Becton will just fly up the middle, and he stops short of the 30 at the 26-yard line, and a flag. And now some bodies being pushed between the Purple Dragons and the Golden Bears, and one of the umpire, I believe, had to get into the fray to separate the Golden Bears and the Purple Dragons. That's just frustration.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is, Cam. We've seen a little bit of chippiness this quarter. I'll start with that interception, with that unsportsmanlike penalty. So just a couple little nitpicky things. These guys are jawing at each other. That happens in playoff football in November. Let's see what they're going to call that. It's actually going to call block in the back and then a personal foul. So they'll probably take the personal foul instead of the block in the back.
And both of those penalties, to add, Avi, are on Casey Turner. None of them were on the Purple Dragons, so the Dragons most likely, at least Coach Nicholson, will deny the block in the back, accept the unsportsmanlike penalty, which is 15 yards, and instead of setting up shop from about their 25, the Golden Bears will start from near their 10. And now the referee, with 16 seconds left, is making his way all the way to the 10-yard line and will spot the football nearest the left hash as the Golden Bears offense will try to move upfield with 16 seconds remaining in the third quarter on your radio dial from left to right. And we welcome you in. If you are just joining us on ESPN 100.7 while driving in your car or at home, listening on the dial, or whether it is our live stream, alongside Avi Sharma with Shelby Whitepack at our KSHQ studios, I'm Cam Molina. 54-6 the score, and the Purple Dragons are absolutely pouring it on this Kaw Valley League team. And if the Dragons are able to win this contest, they will advance to 4-0 against Kaw Valley League teams over the last 2 seasons. Deep back is Richardson. Flynn hands off to Richardson, who is
Big
absolutely pummeled. Dylan Jordan out of the fray again, and the shark fin is flashed. 8 seconds in the third quarter, and it will wind down. Both sides will have a momentary ceasefire and go to the respective benches. 54-6 is the score. What we had initially thought would be a multi-round bout has been a lopsided affair, and the Dragons are getting nothing but perfect scores on their scored card. 54-6 is the score. The Purple Dragons leading due to Chase Curtis's 6 passing touchdowns and exemplary defense. Back with more Purple Dragon action here on your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7, after a 1-minute commercial break.
Larry Barrett Body Frame and Towing can tow all cars, trucks, and some semi-tractors and trailers in town or cross country. Larry Barrett has emergency record service for all accidents, 24-hour towing. Been in an accident? Then call the pros. They have quality auto body repairing and painting from certified technicians for all major and minor repair jobs, and they can deal directly with the insurance companies, taking the stress out of your life. Go to BarrettBodyFrame.com or stop in and see them at 1601 East 27th Street Terrace, or call 232-9400. That's Larry Barrett Body Frame and Towing. Customer service first. See them fast in names and numbers.
Customer first, safety always. It's not just a tagline, it's the Watco way. By focusing on safety, each and every day they build a future by protecting their customers, team members, community, and the environment. When Watco moves commodities by rail, river, and road, at home or across North America and Australia, their priority is to ensure that they deliver their loads safely and on time. Watco wishes all area teams a safe and successful season.
Now back to Dragon football.
A merry welcome back to Southeast Kansas in Pittsburg, Kansas, where the score is 54-6. The Purple Dragons lead it with running clock in the fourth quarter. Richardson sprinted forward for a gain of 15 yards. Another handoff to Richardson. The third play of the drive for the Golden Bears. He has some room. He wheels towards the outside at the 40 and is finally tripped up as he goes flying out of bounds, shy of the 45 at the 43-yard line. A gain of 21 yards. And Jalen Richardson is a monster.
Yeah, and he's looking good, Cam. I tell you, he's doing the best he can to get the job done, and it's hard. I mean, he's down by a lot of points, but you know, you got to give him credit for not giving up.
So Richardson back-to-back runs of double-digit yards, 17 and then 21.
Only a sophomore.
And as you said, just a sophomore, over 1,200 yards entering the contest, now over 1,400 yards on the season. Handoff is, again, up the middle, this time to Bates, and Bates tries to bounce forward before he's stymied short of the 48-yard line at the 47 after a pickup of 4.
Continuous clock. Now we're at 10 minutes and counting, and so Shelby White again with another update as St. Thomas Aquinas is leading Bonner Springs 28-13 in the third quarter.
Under center again is Flynn. Delayed handoff into the backfield and moving his way across the 50 to the 47-yard line of the Purple Dragons is a new face in the backfield, as I'm trying to catch a number from our perspective, and I believe on the carry it was Luke Green, the sophomore. So Green is able to dig into Purple Dragon territory following about an 8-yard run.
I like how it is on the roster there. Luke Green is a wide running back, wide receiver, and linebacker. So Luke doing all the positions there for the Golden Bears.
Multi-tool athlete for this team. Hard count by Flynn. Flag comes out, and it's an encroachment by the Purple Dragons. As there was definite movement up front. I believe it was Daniel Eichenberger who tried to jump the snap. And excuse me, it was not Eichenberger. Instead, it was Zach Kunkler, the senior, who is the reserve right tackle and is starting to play more of a prominent role on the defensive line. He's the backup right tackle. He moved from third on the depth chart to second following Reese Willis's injury midway through the season. Deep pitch. Richardson again finds some room towards the far side of the field. He maneuvers, and as he navigates across the 35, he stopped at the 30-yard line. Ball comes loose at the end of the play, but it's null and void. The whistle was blown. 12-yard pickup.
Yeah, and Richardson just pushing a couple linemen out of the way. He said, hey, keep going, so he can get some more yards. And there's another promising drive for this Golden Bears team. Last time they were down here, they had discipline mistakes that hurt them, so they had to turn over on downs.
50 yards rushing on 3 carries on this drive for Richardson. Net-wise, though, it's only 48 because he lost 2 yards on his initial run. Richardson undercut as he was trying to hurdle midair at the 30-yard line. Dylan Jordan sneaking in for the stop, and the Shark is able to bite down on the sophomore halfback. Ball is officially spotted at the 29. 1-yard gain.
Things looking good. Let's see if the Golden Bears can get something going. When PHS brings the blitz on the outside, they continue to run on the inside, and that's why they're getting some yards out of nothing.
7:38 remaining in the ball game. Purple Dragons win. They will face the winner of St. Thomas Aquinas and Bonner Springs. Richardson again snaps out of 1 tackle and is stopped shy of the 20 at the 21-yard line in between the hashes. A group tackle that was led by Clayton Hake, the sophomore.
Looks like you're seeing a couple substitutions on the front line for this Purple Dragon defense and a couple other linebackers in there, but you still see Jarek Butcher and company. Do you know they want to keep these guys out of the end zone and get a second-half shutout?
8-yard burst by Richardson. And if St. Thomas Aquinas is able to win this upcoming matchup or win the matchup they are currently in right now against Bonner Springs, that will spark what is, in my opinion, a rivalry between Pittsburg and St. Thomas Aquinas in the playoffs. They faced each other several times between 2000 and 2014. Setting up, Green on the run, tosses it up, jump ball, and it is broken up at the last second. Able to shove his arm in between the football and the receiver was Joel Kafka. Kafka, who had a splendid defensive play at the end of the first half, stripping Becton, who was sprinting following a pitch and catch between he and Richardson. Becton stretched his left arm out to secure the touchdown, and because of the pigskin crossed the pylon, it's an immediate 6 points. But Kafka read it, slapped the football out of the hands of Becton, and it was a touchback.
And you know, Cameron, ironically, it was the exact same play. It was a halfback pass that just happened, so Kafka doing his job again.
So an incomplete pass, run up the middle, and this will be right on the first down marker, and it moves the chains as Bates plowed up the middle for 1 yard.
Clock continuing to run. Now we're under 6 minutes. No hurrying up at all. Just taking their time here, but we'll see if the Golden Bears can end on a good note with trying to get in the end zone for the second half.
.5:30 remaining into the contest. Snapping a handoff. Richardson bounces outside across the 20 to the 15-yard line.
So Richardson there doing his part and continuously to grind. I'm still amazed, Cameron, by how he is a sophomore doing these things.
2nd down and 6. 5 minutes remaining in the ball game. And the Golden Bears are just going to allow the clock to wind down. Obviously, they will try to score in an I formation, twin wing set. Deep pitch is to Richardson. Richardson being tracked from behind. He tries to cut back in between Jarek Butcher and another Purple Dragon defender. He remains on his feet, wrapped up around the ankles, and then finally speared in the back and dropped at the 15-yard line. And that was a long way to traverse, Avi, before any yardage was picked up, and in fact I think it may have been right back to the line of scrimmage, and the officials will actually give Richardson a 1 to 2 yard pickup for all of his effort.
Another update by Shelby White. Webb City 42, Carl Junction 14 at the end of the 3rd quarter. Webb City's starting to pull away. Shelby White, I got to appreciate him for giving us the scores. He's got to be bored. The MLB's done, and so he's got to find some other scores for us there, Cam.
4 minutes remaining in the contest. Handoff outside, and Flynn is absolutely popped in the backfield. And Dylan Jordan has been a menace defensively ever since being inserted into the starting lineup. Dylan Jordan, an absolute weapon for Coach Tom Nicholson. And at this rate, if St. Thomas Aquinas wins, the Purple Dragons will need as much help as they can muster.
That'll be on the road, correct?
Yes, because Aquinas is the higher seed. They enter the 5A state playoffs as the second overall seed in the East, one ahead of Pittsburgh, with a 7-1 record in the regular season, 8-2, about to be 9-2 if they are able to prevail over Bonner Springs. To the flat, it's intercepted. Joel Kafka has it. He turns on the thrusters. No one will catch him. Joel Kafka, a spectacular pick six. And the Purple Dragons have put the icing on this contest. Sectionals, here they come.
Wow. The Jets were turned on by Kafka. He was not going to get stopped. Cam, he could have ran all the way out to Broadway and nobody was going to catch him. My goodness.
60-6 is the score now. And the Purple Dragons have put up the most points scored this season in the contest against the Golden Bears. It could be 61 right here, depending on Neef's PAT. Neef with his ankle-high white socks. Looking like a grandpa at a retirement home. The PAT is up, and it is good. Nathan Neef is able to can it. 61-6 is the score. 2:15 remaining in the ball game, and the Purple Dragons have this contest shirred up, and they say, "Bring on Bama." As the Golden Bears trail by 55 points. We will keep it here in Pittsburg, Kansas. Avi obviously didn't like that.
No, I did not. But Shelby White again with another score update. Mays 27, Wichita Heights 14 in the fourth quarter. That's definitely another one to circle on the calendar there, as that's an interesting score. Is that the alma mater you said?
That's my alma mater, and obviously, coincidentally, it just happens to be when I graduate that they become this stellar football team. So, congratulations to Mays High School. They happen to beat the Falcons, which is actually the alma mater of both of my parents. Wichita native myself, always heard about the Heights Falcons. You know, Perry Ellis graduating from there.
Who?
Perry Ellis? You know?
Nope,
the KU guy? No? You don't know? All right, that checks out. And a change at kicker. Coming onto the field is Caden Bressler, the sophomore, for the kickoff duties, wearing his bright neon green cleats and the big Nike swish, almost looking like the Seattle Seahawks color scheme.
I don't know what it is, but I guess the kickers for PHS like to stand out.
Well, and if you notice, especially at the NFL level, you will see kickers wear two different colored cleats because they want to signify which one is their kicking leg and which one is not their kicking leg. And if teams happen to overlook whether he's a right-legged kicker or a left-legged kicker, sometimes they will change up their cleat color. And grabbing the football at the 25 and just flopping down to the turf to avoid any sort of hit was Robert McGill, the junior. And actually, I was reading something very interesting the other day as time is beginning to roll down under 30 seconds. There are only 3 teams in the NFL that favor a left-footed kicker because many teams do not practice fielding left-footed punts. 61-6 is the score. Purple Dragons, 10 seconds left. The Golden Bears, no reason to even snap the football as Coach Julian Parks and the K.C. Turner Golden Bears football season will come to an end as first-year head coach with a stellar first year at the helm of this Kansas City Turner squad. But the Purple Dragons will head into the sectional contest awaiting the winner of St. Thomas Aquinas as well as Bonner Springs. The final score of 61-6, capped off by a Joel Kafka 90-yard interception return for a touchdown. And the Purple Dragons will reach the regional for the 3rd time out of 4 years, winning by 55 points. And we will step aside for 2 minutes, return back to Pittsburg, Kansas for some final thoughts, a last glance at the final statistics, an interview with Coach Nicholson, and maybe one more update from the St. Thomas Aquinas Bonner Springs game. You're listening to the home of Purple Dragon Athletics on ESPN 100.7.
Headquartered in Richmond, Kansas, QSI Quality Structures Incorporated specializes in designing and building complete post-frame buildings. We provide structures built to withstand a 30-pound ground snow load and a 90-mile-per-hour wind shear built to the most stringent codes. Whether you need a garage, agricultural building, commercial facility, or custom-built design, we're your one-stop shop for post-frame buildings. QSI. Everything we do is right on cue.
It's a feeling you get the moment you step on campus.
It's the knowledge that you become part of something more.
We're a family of crimson and gold.
Every day we challenge ourselves to achieve more.
The reason why we're here is to make a difference.
Everybody wants to stand out.
Without standing apart.
You belong.
At Pittsburg State University.
Crawcan Telephone Cooperative has been serving Girard in southeast Kansas for 65 years. In 1952, we helped our members connect with each other using telephone lines. Today, we connect our members with the entire world using fiber optics. While the technology has changed, our commitment to deliver it to our members has not. Check us out on the web at ckt.net.
Back to Pittsburg, Kansas, where the final score, 61-6 in favor of the Purple Dragons, will award the Pittsburg High School Purple Dragons football team with the sectional award, the regional award, as they will advance to the sectional round, awaiting the winner of St. Thomas Aquinas and Bonner Springs. Last time you and I checked, Avi, St. Thomas Aquinas was leading, but either way, it will be a tumultuous matchup against whatever club they play.
Wow, I mean, this offense has got to get stopped if you're PHS, or good luck stopping this offense of PHS, as they are rolling on all cylinders right now. What a better time to do it than playoff time, as they're looking great, and then that defense has been phenomenal all year long. Again, only holding both teams that they've played now under single digits scoring.
And Avi, when you look at this team, the Pittsburg High Purple Dragons offensively are a masterclass among clubs in the southeast Kansas area. Once a part of the SEK League with Fort Scott before they went independent back in 2016. And they struggled back in 2016 trying to adjust to the independent schedule. They played 3 Missouri teams, Harrisonville as well as Carl Junction and Webb City. Lost all 3 of those bouts last year. This year, knocking off the reigning Class 4 champ from Missouri, giving Webb City all they can handle in that first half, and then Carl Junction staying competitive in the first half as well. But against Kansas teams over the last 2 years, 12-1, and with the 61 points poured on tonight by the Dragons, they have scored over 530 points against Kansas clubs over the last 2 seasons, an outrageous number. And it's hard to argue that this may be one of the best offensive team Coach Nicholson has ever had, probably since Alex Barnes was here.
I agree, and this offense is, like I said, they're clicking, Cam. They are doing it however they want to. It's been the ground game all season long, and then all of a sudden they wanted to air it out today, and they did just that. As the Chase Curtis' 6 touchdowns tonight was absolutely phenomenal, as he almost had the perfect QBR rating until the interception at the end of that third quarter, if you will. But just a great job by them. And, you know, you got to tip your hat to these the Golden Bears. They had a great season. They did the best they could. They came here. They had a great playoff win last week. Don't forget that, 41-7, huge win. Came here, played in a hostile crowd, tough team. That's just what it is.
Quick recap of the scoring drives from each team. Starting with the football was Casey Turner. They started the ball game from their own 20-yard line, but quickly stalled out following some immense defensive pressure by the Dragons' front line. Chase Curtis found Dylan White on one play, 43 yards, making the score 7-0. Then it would be Jalen Richardson responding with a 35-yard touchdown. Away the Golden Bears went, only trailing by 1. PAT was no good, obviously, hence the 6 points. But then Dylan Jordan on an in-around was able to sprint for 68 yards in the one-time run, put the Dragons up 14-6. another stalled-out drive by the Golden Bears was preceded by the Dragons taking the football on 6 plays, 3 minutes, 5 seconds, 44 yards, which resulted in a touchdown pass from Chase Curtis to Zachary Sutton. That was followed by another touchdown pass to Zachary Sutton from 50 yards away, making it 28-6. And then Chase Curtis found Dylan White from 10 yards away. Each of those receivers reeling in 2 touchdown catches in the first half, making it 35-6. And then right before the break, Ty Cicero, wide open in the middle of the field, is able to wrangle in the football from 15 yards out, making it 41-6 at halftime. There was a chance for the Golden Bears to score with a minute remaining in the first half of play, as it was a flip from Flynn to Jalen Richardson. Richardson set his feet, delivered a gorgeous throw to his target, and Becton turned on the accelerators and was trying to outrun Joel Kafka. He stretched his arm out to cross the pigskin over the pylon, but Joel Kafka swatted the football away. It resulted in a touchback. Heading into the second half of action, the Dragons would have the football first. Chase Curtis found Zachary Sutton for his 3rd receiving touchdown of the contest, including Curtis's 6th passing touchdown in what was a 3-play, 1-minute drive that went 65 yards, making it 48-6. And then stalling out again were the Golden Bears, but then Chase Curtis threw a pick. Deep inside Dragon territory were the Golden Bears, but subsequently they would stall out as well. And then Zach Roark scored a 21-yard rushing touchdown following a 5-play, 3-minute, 39-yard drive to make the score 54-6. And then with less than about 4 minutes remaining, it was a pick 6 thrown by Flynn into the belly of Joel Kafka. And Kafka just sprinted downfield, outran everybody to make the score finally 61-6. 6 passing touchdowns by this star-studded quarterback in the name of Chase Curtis. And then for Dylan White, 2 receptions, 53 yards, 2 touchdowns. 5 receptions for Zachary Sutton, over 100 yards, 3 receiving touchdowns. Ty Cicero, 1 catch, 15 yards, and a touchdown on the ground game. Corbin Jefferson also put in his 2 cents. He was able to rush for a good amount, as well as Brandis Evans, but the defense absolutely stifling tonight by this Purple Dragon club as Coach Tom Nicholson starts to make his way over. Avi Sharma will take a quick breather as we now welcome in the Pittsburg High School head football coach, Tom Nicholson. Coach, chiefly, congratulations on the win. You'll head to section.
Adjusting routes on the fly.
Coach, I can throw a whole bunch of numbers at you offensively, but I think defensively is what you want to hear more. Last 3 games, only allowing 24 points. You've scored 163. And against Kansas teams over the last 2 years, you guys are 12-1. Despite that loss to Blue Valley Southwest, you guys have poured on 538 points against those Kansas teams. What does that mean to you?
Well, I mean, that's nice, but not much. I couldn't have told you anything about that. I couldn't tell you our record, Kansas, Missouri. We don't care who we're playing, whether it's Kansas or Missouri. We just want to play well, and I'm happy for this team because we did play well. Their tailback and fullback are good running backs, and they broke a lot of tackles, but our defense kept flying to the ball and just kept grinding, just kept pounding. And that overall, this was a quality win. We wanted to play our best game tonight, and I think we put our best foot forward tonight.
And Coach, as it stands, St. Thomas Aquinas may be your next opponent. You guys have a long rivalry in the playoffs. What will that mean to reignite that rivalry, one, but prepare for such a high-caliber team like that?
Well, anytime you get into the quarterfinals or whatever round it's called we're heading into, there's only 4 teams on the east side of the state left, and they're all good. But Aquinas preseason has been pegged as one of the top teams in Kansas, all classes. And we'll approach it just like we approach everybody. It's about us correcting our mistakes. It's about us playing as well as we possibly can. And our kids follow football. They're football and athlete junkies. They know all about them. They know how good they are. But this game, just like every other game, will be about us. Us executing our effort, our execution, our focus will determine how we play.
Coach, through 10 games this year, this has been an unprecedented hunger shown from your squad. How have you appreciated that as a coach? Does it make it even more fun to coach this team?
This is a great team to hang around. These are just great kids. I mean, they're good football players, but they're better kids. They have a lot of fun. We've said it all year long. If you see one of them uptown, you're probably going to see 10 to 15 of them. They just are a tight-knit group. They don't care who's scoring. I mean, when Sutton's going off, scoring 3 touchdowns, Dylan White and Drew Rolfs and Landon Conrad are the first ones there. Congrats. There is no animosity. They just want to win and play well and do the best they can. And it is truly a fun group to be around, and it's a fun group to root for.
Coach, again, I really appreciate the time. Thank you for coming up. And again, congratulations on the regional win. We'll see you at sectionals next week.
Appreciate it, Cam. Thanks a lot, guys.
Yep. Once again, that was the Pittsburg High School head football coach Tom Nicholson here on our post game on ESPN 100.7. Some final statistics to throw at you. Final score 61-6. The Purple Dragons will head to the the sectional for the third time in the last 4 years. Chase Curtis tossing 6 touchdown passes in the last 3 contests. The defense have only allowed 24 points. But, Avi, this team, this is something special that I think Coach Nicholson and everybody's running with right now.
Well, one thing that stood out to me is when I was, we grabbed a couple hot chocolates and we were walking back is these guys were warming up and, Cam, they had smiles on their faces. They were ready to go. I mean, obviously you want to have that game face, but these guys were looking like they were having fun even before the game even started. That's what it's all about right there, is making sure that these guys are enjoying the game. You mentioned it. We've mentioned it how many times, how many seniors these guys have. They're a close-knit team, as Coach Nicholson said, and these guys are having a blast. And so, their season's turning around. They're doing great. Everything's looking phenomenal for them. And so they want to keep this going. And so the best way to do that is just by having fun.
Well, as it stands, St. Thomas Aquinas looming in front of the Pittsburg High School Purple Dragons. The next matchup will be on the road if Aquinas wins in that area on Friday, November the 10th. We will be here for your pregame coverage beginning at 6:30. A last sign-off from Shelby White back at our KSHQ studios. Alongside Avi Sharma, I'm Cam Molina. Thank you all for listening. Hopefully you've enjoyed tonight. Have fun and be safe. The Purple Dragons advance to 8-2 on the season. They score their highest total of the year as well with 61 points, and they prepare for a very, very challenging contest next week.